destroyed. void.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back with another beautiful event. This is Ruthless Esports presents the Pro Scrims, the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims to be precise. The region is going to be Brazil, and me, Raider, along with me, it's Averted on desk. And today we are going to witness another set of 5 amazing matches of week number 2, day number 2 precise. So let's see what happens today, and let's see what kind of impact it is actually going to bring to the lobby.
Well, exactly. Today is a day, we will need to have a look upon to. We would need to, check out how the players are, definitely going to make an impact on the score points, on the table charts and all. Definitely, we will be checking out the points of yesterday as well, moving forward. But today is going to be a crucial day because if today they don't perform quite well, then tomorrow it's going to be a, lot of chaotic situations for the teams and players. So definitely they would be emphasizing much more onto the gameplays during the early stages, I'm assuming, so that, the ending phases of the map don't get too chaotic and they can have an easy third day.
Looking forward to see what kind of situation is going to be there. Is it going to be a day of comeback, or is it going to be a day full with chaoses and finishes to be precise? Let's see what kind of situation will be there. To be honest, I'm expecting a lot of ups and downs at this point in the game, but hopefully these ups and downs are actually going to be there as a part and parcel of the game. Apart from that, if we talk about the point distribution table, I believe very soon we'll get to know about the point distribution method at this point, because the newer meta has been there, and that's a big reason at this point why the fights are actually coming up like this. Let's talk about the particular point distribution system. We have got 10 points at the first position. Second position will get them 6 points. Third position will get them 5 points. Fourth position will get them 4 points. Fifth position will get them 3 points. Sixth position will get you 2 points. And from 7th and 8th position, a single team is going to fetch out 1 points each. When it comes to the other positions, like from 99 to 20th, I believe they're not going to get even a single point at this point. And apart from that, if we talk about situations where a kill is there, even a single kill can get them 1 single point.
Well, exactly. Definitely, there's a changes in the point system as well. But talking about the tourney calendar, week 1 has already been completed out. Talking about week 2, yesterday was week 2. Day 1 today is going to be the day 2. Tomorrow is day 3, and then week 3 is going to be 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So make sure to mark up your calendars. Be ready for the days and for the matches. But but definitely these are going to be one interesting one, and the total prize pool is around $900, and that accumulates over here for $300 per week.
Well, exactly. Make sure to actually mark your calendars as Richard said, so that you can actually check out what kind of important events are there and what kind of important clashes are actually going to be there regarding the fights and stuff like that. But for now, yes, quite excited to see what will happen in the lobby. The reason being, I believe we have got these beautiful squad rosters. Let's talk about the squad roster first of all. Alpha 7 Esports is going to be there on top. First of all, we have got Carrillo, Mafaiso. Top is actually going to be there. Then we have got players like 7up and if we talk about Pedrino. These are the 4 members that are going to come from team Alpha 7 Esports. They are pretty much prudent and credential player of the team, particularly if we talk about Rise Esports. From that corner, we are going to get players like Nuns, 7, Mufasa, Gary X, Fake, 666 and stuff. If we talk about EYC, from that corner, we have got Adrian, Celian, Diego, Bleed and other members.
Well, exactly. Talking from Team Influence CHEMIN, there are going to be Xilo, Federal, Silly Boy, and Glendon. Yep, exactly. Talking about Smoky Esports, well, we have multiple players as well that we had already built yesterday. That is going to be Ellison. Bye-bye. Well, bye-bye, had said bye-bye to multiple players, and even multiple players said bye-bye to bye-bye. So, yep, that was a good thing to have a look at. Ragnar, then Kana and Matthews right now, and then from Team X or else XTEAM, they also have all the 4 players. Papa Kill was one of the names which I remembered a lot yesterday, and today also I was actually wondering what is the gameplay gonna be of Papa Kill today. But talking about other teams such as INCO Gaming, Corinthians, Team Predators, and Team Knife and Skull. Team Knife and Skull was one team definitely which was kneeling during the very early early times of the yesterday matches. But definitely they are the team to be looking forward for today.
Definitely looking forward to see what happens for now. But INCO Gaming, another beautiful team that we are actually going to talk about. We have got Black Dragons as well. In the previous week, I believe week number 1, they were performing exceptionally well, but for now, week number 2 is not looking that good because in the past 5 matches that they played in the previous particular day, they were unable to get a fruitful stance in that particular matchup. So definitely looking forward to see what kind of game these guys are actually going to bring to the table. Luke Esports on the other corner, we have got players like Judo, Chief, Mythic, and if I talk about Honor Soul, from that particular corner, we have got players like Saturn Zin, Turunzin, I believe, is there. If I talk about squad rosters of Sci-Fi Esports, we have got players like Manakoras, Lorenzen, Lenin, Deflex is actually going to be there. From Storm Gaming, we have got Eden. Players like Lanzin is actually going to be there. Even Pereira is actually going to be there. So let's see what they can bring to the table. Brazilian Killers, another beautiful team. Flamengo Esports, yesterday, I believe they had a beautiful chicken dinner. But apart from that, things can change rapidly for this team, to be honest.
Well, exactly. The thing. Well, normally the things change very rapidly and very quickly, and you don't even notice that much. So today is going to be a day that we are going to witness the gameplays, and let's see like whether they have some strategical game changes to their plans or not. But talking about the MVP rankings, that is going to be week 2 post match 5. Well, just look at that, number 1 position is going to be Cellular Boy from Influence coming over here with 5 eliminations, 2,153 damage. Yep, the guy with the maximum amount of damage. Talking about second, it's going to be News from Rise Esports with 9 eliminations and 1,860 damage. On third, it's going to be Silo, and on fourth is going to be Lorenzen, and on fifth, it's going to be again from Influence CHEMIN. Well, just look at that number of, all the 4 people, all the 4, guys from Team Influence coming out onto the list of, the MVP rankings.
And that shows the consistency, to be honest. But when it comes to the overall fragging power, I believe that at that point, Pubg is actually going to be the guy who is actually going to have the highest amount of frag in his favor, and that's absolutely amazing. From the other corner, Sci-Fi Esports' Lorenzen is actually going to come on the second position with 11 finishes. 1873 is going to be the right amount of damage that this guy is actually going to dish out. Meanwhile, if I talk about Influence CHEMIN, says Law, that is the guy. He has got 10 finishes. 1938 is the damage that he was able to dish out. From Flamengo Esports is GG Play, and he was also able to actually secure the 10 finishes that was required. But from Rise Esports, it was none. But let's talk about the overall ranking. If you guys remember, after having the 5 matches yesterday, we saw Rise Esports still being on top with 55 amazing points, and that was so amazing, to be honest, that eventually all the ups and downs were full of it. But if we talk about XTEAM, from that corner, we have got 46 points. Influence Gaming, they are stuck at 47 points at the second position. Flamengo Esports 43, MANDRAKES Esports 40 points, EYC Gaming 31 points, Corinthians with 24, Loops Esports with 24 points.
Well, exactly. This is going to be the first chart, for the after the overall rank of the overall ranking after post match 5. But definitely moving forward on to the next chart from 9 to whatever the rankings are going to be. From 9 to 16th, and it's going to be Team Sci-Fi Esports at 9th position with 23 points. On 10th is going to be Team Predators with 21. On 11th, hashtag 11, it's going to be GZM Esports with 15. On 12th, it's going to be INCO Gaming with 15 as well. And Knife and Skull, well, they had a good start, but definitely not that one to, to be appreciated. On 13th, with 13 points. On 14th, is going to be Brazilian Killers with 12. On 15th, it's going to be Black Dragons with just 12 points. And on 16th, it's going to be Team Honors Girls with 7 points. Yup, so that's a better amount of less. But as we go more further, it's going to be Smoky Esports with just 4 points, Stop Gaming with 2, and Zebra Masters ending out the overall ranking table with just 2 points. There's a lot of difference between the hashtag 1 and hashtag 19, but definitely if the bottom teams need to come up, they definitely need to push harder. And talking about today's matches, well, the first match of today, or you can say the 6th match of Week 2, is going to be the map of Miramar. 7th is going to be the map of ERANGEL. Then again, 8th match is going to be Miramar, 9th match is ERANGEL, and the last match of today, or you can say match number 10, is going to be the map of Golden Sands. That is going to the Miramar.
Well, to sum up the day, I believe the start will be from Miramar, the end will in the Miramar. There are just 2 more matches in comparison to Miramar, and that's going to be ERANGEL. So definitely in the map of ERANGEL, people can change their strategies and eventually come even harsher. But the Miramar is a very dynamic map. We saw a lot of shifts coming in the particular map. So I'm actually still happy to see Miramar having this kind of advantage today. Would love to see what happens in the day of comeback. I would love to add on that day number 2 is always a day of comeback, to be honest. If there is a tournament of 3 days, and the first day will be the day of initiation, the second one will be the day of comeback, and the third one will be the day of Judgment Day. So looking forward to see what happens in the Judgment Day as well. But before that, there is a fight path that is going to come. In just 50 seconds, we'll get to see what happens in the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims. That is going to be from Brazil. at Ruthless Esports. And coming up next is going to be the map of Miramar. It's week number 2, match number 6 for now that we are going to witness. And the flight path is what we are waiting for quite rapidly. I guess those changes on the flight path is going to be there. The shifts of those flight paths are actually going to be quite amazing. Looking forward to see what happens in 30 seconds. I believe flight path will be there. The first play zone is also going to be there around with that. And it will be filled with joyous and it will be filled with chaoses as well, because if the flight path is not going to be favorable for some teams, they will have to drop in open vicinities, and that is something which is never going to be fruitful for them.
Well, exactly. So definitely there's going to be a thing to have a look at. But the audience, to all the audience that are watching from across the globe, if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you guys even doing? Make sure to subscribe, like the stream, share it with your friends, and don't forget to cheer up your team. Don't forget to cheer up for your favorite players. But yeah, the flight path has already been begun. The players are ready to get dispatched from the running plane, and it's going to be Raider along with me, and I'm going to be I'm averted the caster definitely. But yeah, but the first match of today, or the 6th match of week 2, has already started off, and well, the flight path is going to be from that's going to be the diagonal flight path entering from the northern western parts of the map and ending out to the southern eastern parts of the map. Or you can say, well, Impala is not that southern. It's going to be a mid you can say. So yep, it's going to be from northern western part of the map to the centric eastern part of the map. So definitely it's going to be favoring upper regions, or you can say the northern parts of the map, much compared to the lower maps. And like yep, if the players need to dispatch, and if they'll drop locations that are around Chumasera, Veladima and Los Leones, or especially Los Higos or present, then definitely that's going to be a lot of troublesome situation for them. But as we can see, only 2 teams have gone to the upper side of the flight path compared to the number of teams which have gone to the bottom side. But yeah, these are going to be the top players with the most eliminations, and there it goes. The players have already dispatched and are about to drop on.
Well, there we go. And before dropping, I believe Zebra Master is already popping out, and that's Loops Esports which is getting contested. Look at that. Loops Esports' member are actually getting taken down. But same goes to Zebra Esports. I believe Zebra Masters are also getting a clash at that point. But they have gathered 2 amazing finishes. They can easily push forward. They can easily secure more and more points if they want to. But in order to actually do so, Solotov's revival has to come in so that they can maintain their 4-man power, and that's going to be very important for them. 3 finishes are there, and the final finish is also on the way. I don't believe that Cardozo is going to do a lot at this point, because he's the last man standing. He has got the M249. He can actually come up with a frag. He can actually take down 1 or 2 players, but that's all that he's going to bring to the table. But no, that is not going to be possible. It's Riddick who's actually going to do a 1v2, and just like that, Team Zebra Masters are the one team which was unable to secure any points yesterday, but finally, in this day particularly, they have secured the number of points that was required. Knife and Skull. Oh, that was a good shot coming in. Alpha 7 is looking way too on point. Look at that. Alpha 7s, if I talk about the Carnage, was looking so on point that they were able to get a lot of knockouts, to be honest. But Alpha 7, one good member has been finished off. The other one is trying this level best to trade off. The fights are going to be much more auspicious. Look at that. The trade of fire comes in. Finally, the last man standing is there with the M16A4. Not a great gun to take up a fight with, but then eventually that's what he has got in his hand. He has not the right, should I say, utilities that is required in the game, but Thompson is there. M16 versus Thompson. That is going to be a crucial game. That is going to be a very tough game, to be precise, at this point. But eventually the revival is something I'm just waiting for. If the revival comes in, that would be absolutely amazing.
Definitely both the team players are a bit curious like what is going to happen further, as only one solo player survived from Team Knife and Skull, and same goes for Team Alpha 7 right now with S1987. There it goes, a beautiful shot collection indeed, and Team Alpha 7 Esports have been completely eliminated from this particular battle at the very early stages. I'm talking about Team Knife and Skulls with all the 4 players remaining. Yeah, but the players are knocked out, but the revival is the revival procedure is ongoing, and there it goes. But wait a minute, once again we are witnessing another fight in the regions of Pecado, and it's going to be between Team INCO Gaming and which team is at the opposite? I guess it's Smoky Esports. Exactly. Team INCO versus Team Smoke, and Team INCO has managed to eliminate Team Smoky Esports during the very early stages. Do you remember when we had started off with the with the details of today? I had already told earlier that the teams are going to be definitely aggressive during the very early stages, and this is what happening. This is what I was talking about. Till yesterday, yesterday the players were completely chilled on. They knew that this is just the beginning day. They need to play passively. They need to study the gameplay of the other enemy team players. But today is a day. Today is kind of a judgment day for them as well, because if today they have managed, they have managed themselves to keep at the top of the tables, and definitely tomorrow is going to be an easy task over there for them. They won't need to complete it around to tomorrow. But if the teams are not able to grab as many points as they wanted today, then they would need to push as well tomorrow.
I would totally agree with your point at this point. But the thing is, there are quite a few teams who want to go passive at this point. Yes, the drop clashes were there, but that was there due to those teams which are unable to perform yesterday. So those are the teams which want to be aggressive today.
Yeah.
But the teams which are already on top, I believe they are actually going to go for a passive approach so that they can just build on it and maybe attain more points from it.
Exactly.
And apart from that, if we talk about the areas, I believe there are quite a few areas where the teams are actually going to be secluded. But then areas like San Martin, Hassan and Bertrand, even Picardo is one of those areas where we might expect fights coming in. Loops Esports, Smoke, and A7, three teams have already been becoming the casualty in this particular day. But apart from those three teams, I believe every other team is now going to be a little bit more passive. Maybe go for the survival rates and then eventually come back even harsher when the zone demands it. And for now, the stage number 1 is going to compromise. That means the first place zone is going to get down. Remember, guys, the overall ranking showcases us that which is the team on top, and that is going to be Rise Esports. There is a buffer of, if I'm not wrong, 8 points between Rise and Influence Gaming. And in order to reach out to that buffer and eventually close that buffer, Influence Gaming has to come up with a great chicken dinner.
Well, exactly. Team Influence CHEMIN would definitely, need to push a bit harder compared to yesterday, so that, they can overcome Team Rise Esports. But Team Rise Esports, they're also, not going to be eliminated this early. They are also, going to battle for the glory. They're also going to battle for the top. So definitely it's going to be a battle that we will need to have a look. And just imagine, during the, during 5th or 6th circle, we witness Team Influence CHEMIN versus Team Rise Esports. What a lovely fight that would be, to be witnessing. But talking about XTEAM, they are on a good rotation, right, of all the 4 players remaining. Pubg definitely has a bit damage. He needs to heal up a bit. But let's see how is the gameplay going to be of this particular team today. Okay, they are actually preferring, much smaller compounds and locations for the loot rather than the bigger cities, because they know that in the cities, the players are, the enemy team players are definitely going to be looting around, and that can be a bit of troublesome situation for them. So looting around at such smaller areas won't push them into, the chaotic situation at least during the early stages. But the first circle is about to shrink. The second circle is gonna run short, and there it goes. Team Predators, they are, better playing around with the game. And just have a look. Already the vehicle damage intake capacity in the map of Miramar is low, and the buggy is definitely, less compared to the other. But talking about, just we can see TPP, Team Predator player 3, well, he has total 6 eliminations. So that's kind of, a bit of asset over here for the team. Let's have a look. Let's see what is, going to happen with Team Predators. But audience, what is your reaction? What do you think? How many kills can Team Predators acquire today? Make sure to, type down your predictions for this particular team. But talking about the topmost team, Rita, what do you think? How many finishes can this team acquire today?
If we talk about Rise Esports, I believe, I would guess like 20 plus finishes. That's my prediction for them.
Okay, let's see. Let's have a look. Well, I think so that can be, a bit higher as well, or else it can be a lower as well. I have no idea. But if they manage to, get more than 20 finishes especially, then that can definitely keep them at the table top. So let's see, like, what happens. You never know. No one knows what the future beholds over there for us.
And for the teams as well, for the players as well. So yes, definitely it is actually going to be quite amazing. But one thing we know, that if you subscribe to the Ruthless Esports channel, you are going to get a lot of events, and you are actually going to witness a lot of chaos if you want to go with it. So yes, definitely guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like the video as well, so that you can witness the action from different regions coming in, be it the Southeast Asian region or South Asian region or the Brazilian region or some other region that Ruthless Esports might actually open up to in the near future. But it was EYC, if I'm not wrong, which was able to back out the first Metaverse chicken for the whole event in this week number 2. So looking forward to see what EYC will be able to bring to the table for now, because the thing is, they have to rotate, they have to figure out an beautiful angle so that they can actually pull up the socks and eventually survive a bit more. Although it's not going to be easy, but that's what they have to live up to. That's what they have to survive with. They have to gain those points, because if the points are not going to be in their favor, seems like that the game can change quite dynamically. And apart from that, the leaderboard is something I'm actually pretty much worried about. But if I talk about Adrian, 6 finishes from this guy's corner, definitely looking strong, but for now I'm actually waiting for the second play zone, and there we go. The second play zone is actually going to go not in a center area of any other squads or any other area. It is not in Montenovo, it is not in Strumasera. It is pretty much centralized at Largiela, and that's absolutely amazing because there is not a lot of covers, I believe, at that point. There are ridges, there are a few minor small shacks and compounds like that, but eventually a lot of teams have to rotate to a larger vicinity. Like if they want to go for Vala Del Mar, they have to rotate. XTEAM could be the one team which is going to have the advantage of Vala Del Mar because there is nobody at that point on that particular location. They can easily back it out, but apart from that, if we talk about Team Predators, they've got the foam and power. The upfront rotation is going to be of EYC. They're just waiting and waiting and waiting for now. Let's see how far the wait is going to be there.
Well, exactly. Team EYC, they are just, waiting on to the positions like the Team Predators. I don't think so that they have the level of patience that, one requires to hold. They are just hanging around. They are utilizing all the riches they have around themselves, to spot as many players as they can and grab few finishes. But I don't think so that's going to be any beneficial over there for them. But Team Predator, I think, okay. I think they have somewhat spotted the team, but not exactly. They are just, predicting that there might be a team, but the proper indication of the team is still unknown and unclear. But talking about team Zebra Masters, what a great initial start and boost for this team. 4 finishes, that too during the very early stage of the map, that too without any player loss, without any casualties. It's a great sign. And well, we never know, like they might be well lucky to, grab much more finishes and put themselves, into the very top, or you can say the first start of the points table. So we'll need to have a look like what is going to be the game changing day over here, the changing situation over here for Team Zebra Masters. But Team Honor Souls and Team X, or you can say X Team, they are extremely close to each other. And I guess God already, they got spotted that there's a player. And well, instantly took it, reversed the car and took it off into the very opposite direction and reunited with his team. But I guess one player from Team Honored Souls is actually approaching X Team and going way too close. That can be not so good way for the team. But definitely, let's see when is this battle going to start and what is going to be the output of this particular one. Is X Team going to be eliminated or it's going to be Team Honored Souls? And there it goes. Renan, then 4 and Renan, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but he has already spotted out the player, but the player knew that he has been spotted and took off immediately, went for a good fallback. So that's going to be a good sign. Like that means Team Honor Souls, they are not, worried about getting into the fights during the very early stages.
Why would they? Because they have to survive. They have to gain some good points. Because if you talk about the leaderboard, look at that. Their situation is not that good. They are at hashtag 16. There is no qualifications and stuff like that. But the thing is, they have to gain those points. They have to actually survive a bit so that they can actually acquire the chunk of the prize pool. Although gaining the first position is not going to be impossible, but yes, it is difficult for now for teams like Honored Soul, which are stuck at the bottom. But yes, X Team versus Team Honored Soul, this could be a fight that will be worth remembering or worth watching. Rise Esports from the other corner is also trying to rotate towards Vala Del Mar. There is nobody contesting them in the specific compound of Vala Del Mar, but there are quite a few teams which can actually witness the rotation that these guys are actually trying to cut up. Influence Gaming, we have got Lil Boy and the other members from Influence Gaming are also trying to rotate in, but seems like that there are quite a few teams which are going to have the advantage of having a standstill type of rotation, be it Team Knife and Skull or even EYC is actually one of those teams which is having an advantage. But for now, look at the shift coming in from the zone. SCCP, or should I say the Corinthians, could actually have the advantage because they can easily cross over. They can easily have the firm location. They can easily gel around with this particular location. But seems like that the other teams have to rotate. And look at that. Everybody is in the vehicle trying to rotate, trying to find that perfect angle from which they can find back in the last few circles.
Well, exactly. The teams and players are trying to get inside the circle, but the circle is extremely dangerous away for the teams and players. It's going to be a hell of a chaotic situation for all the teams, and the chaotic situation have already started off. They have already picked off Team Knife and Skull, holding on to a good position right now. And well, it's going to be the map of Miramar right now. Already forgotten. Well, exactly. So this is going to be a bit easy as well as hard at the same point of time. Exactly why I'm telling you is because the players can utilize all the benefits that they are going to acquire from the riches, but that's going to be a bit troublesome situation for them as well because enemy teams are going to utilize it as well, and they would be hiding behind the riches, which can be a good cover with natural cover with them for them. So yeah, but that it's going to be it's going to make a bit harder for you to find out the enemy teams and players, and you never know, like if you're just going for a good rotation and a team pops up immediately out of you, in front of you, out of nowhere, then that's going to be very, very lethal, and it can instantly eliminate out your whole team, especially when you're rotating rotating inside a circle, that too on a vehicle. As I said earlier, the vehicle damage intake capacity is quite low, and if the team starts firing up onto you, definitely your vehicle is going to be completely burst off within a matter of seconds. But there it goes. I guess Team G7 is a bit more confident today, as they are having a good rotations, trying to get inside a circle, that at a good position. But Team MANDRAKES Esports, they are also, I guess, somewhat getting involved into the fights right now. Talking about the Team Honored Souls, they have managed to secure 2 more finishes, but majority of the teams, they are just trying to get inside a circle and hold on to the positions, not getting involved into much chaotic, or you can say much deeper fights.
Let's see, will they be able to indulge on those fights that we were talking about at this point? But Cielo is there, Adrian is there on the back foot. Oh, SECP's Pratap. SECP's Prata, I believe that is the guy who's actually going to pick one down from Team GZM Esports. There's a beautiful knockout coming up indeed from GZM Esports. The manpower was already 3. So I believe getting a knockout at this point and maybe losing that player is going to be a very big loss for the team. Hopefully that loss will not come in. Hopefully they are actually going to ignite some kind of a spirit and maybe eventually gain some good points, because if we talk about Corinthians, they're pretty much far away. They cannot eventually go for the finishes for now. But outside the play zone, I believe there is a knockout. GZM Esports, that particular guy who has been knocked out, Revival is something which is going to be a little bit more skeptical or a little bit more uneasy, but I'm actually rooting for the next particular play zone. That is going to be the 4th one if I'm not wrong. Let's see where the 4th play zone is going to be there. But look at the number of teams, 13 teams and 40 plus players are surviving, and that's a zone which is again going to create a lot of ruckus on the minds of like MANDRAKES Esports or Knife and Skull, or even INCO Gaming is actually going to have a lot of trouble. Team Predators is actually going to have a lot of trouble. Black Dragons is now unable to find that beautiful angle that is required at this point for the rotations, but seems like that it's Team INCO which is finally having the Pubg and vehicles like that in order to rotate. They're actually rotating from the church location. They're trying to actually be in the zone, but there is a team, not just a team, I believe there are other teams which are actually trying to gatekeep them, because there are a number of teams which are trying to gatekeep for now. So it seems highly unlikely that INCO will be able to survive, and that's exactly what happened. Look at that, Becker gets popped off with a vehicle blow. On the other corner, there is a 1v1 coming in from INCO to EYC. That's a good shot indeed, but eventually INCO, can they survive? There's a big question. There's 12k shots going in. Yesterday also we were talking about this particular gun, but today look at that. S12k is the gun that everybody is trying to just go with. Influence came in, says Kawasaki has been taken down, but Kawasaki's nade also finds the Papa kill. Godzin gets taken down by the fall damage. Oh, that's it from the back end. It was EYC's Diego which was able to just completely shut him down. What a beautiful match indeed. But INCO Gaming, they were able to secure 4 finishes, but just after that they were also shattered. So this shows the dynamic of the match. But now Rise Esports is coming up a little bit more closer to another beautiful team. There could be another set of fight coming in, but before that we have to witness a carnage between Influence came in. Oh, in the Molly, they are just running deep. They're just trying to survive, but from the back end it's a spray coming in from Rise Esports, and just like that Influence Gaming also comes up to a loss, and with that XTEAM also gets taken down. This particular team, Rise Esports to be precise, was able to take down 1 or 2 members, or 1 or 2 teams as well to be precise, but there is another guy sitting on the back end. That's going to be Renan. Let's see what he can do. It's a 1v1 fight. 3 eliminations already there for Nunes. He is actually going to go for the 4th one. Highly difficult, but then again that's what they have to deal with. There are going to be some sprays coming in. XTEAM might be getting finished off way too early, and that's exactly what is going to happen. Before that, he is going to take one down. That's going to be Mufasa, and I believe he was able to take down 2 knockouts, but finally it was 7 who finished him off. From the back end, it is Honored Soul which is trying to pop 1 or 2 players as well. That's going to be Team Predators which is receiving the shot. Look at those beautiful Scarlet shots going in. Although the connection was not there, but definitely he's trying to tag them around.
Well, exactly. 9 teams and whatever players are still remaining. Team MANDRAKES Esports have been eliminated at #10 with 0 elimination points. Well, that's not looking like so good over here for Team Honored and Souls as well. One of the players have been knocked out. They are managed to secure 4 finishes into the pocket, but the Team Predators, they are pushing. And wait a minute, I thought they were pushing, but they are not, because they have one more team, like right next to them. Okay, but they are, at quite a bit distance. And okay, well, that was a better strategical gameplay. They were just, waiting for the teammates, and there it goes. Team Honored and Team Honored Souls have lost and knocked 2 of the players. Only 1 player is remaining right onto the foots right now. Okay, one more player has been completely revived and is on to good HP, but definitely Team Predators, they are also at a bit of some situation. From the side, another team can definitely push and come up with some beautiful frags and finishes into the pockets. But Team Black Dragons, one of the player has been knocked out. 2 players are remaining, and the team Rise Esports, they are about to push. But even one player from team Rise Esports has been knocked out. The zone, yup, the zone is going to shrink within a time span of 6 seconds. And if you're not, either okay, well, mostly every individual team is currently inside the circle, and there it goes. The next circle forms out. Few teams are either inside the circle or on the edge of the circle, but Rise Esports and team okay, well, the team next to them, well, they are not currently inside a circle. They would need to definitely push team Rise Esports. The team at the very topmost position have managed to secure uniform of finishes into this particular game as well. Can they manage to eliminate the 3 enemy players right before their eyes, or else it's going to be a a lost over here, lost of this particular match for them. Let's see what happens. The vehicles are also completely tagged out. It's going to be a lot of troublesome situations to go for a good rotation, and there it goes. One of frag grenade. Mufasa has been talked, fragged out right now. He has been received a bit amount of damage, but that's going to be a troublesome situation. Definitely, the zone is about to start shrinking. There it goes. The zone has already begun shrinking. The players are going to be in a better difficult situations. And well. Some of the teams, they are getting quite eliminated right now. Some of the teams, they are not able to manage up to their positions. Meanwhile, some of the teams, they are pushing quite aggressively and extracting as many finishes and points they can from this particular match.
I would totally agree on that point, because right now every team wants to survive, but apart from that, they want to gain as many frags as possible. GZM Esports is not looking at a very comfortable spot, to be precise, but look at that. There are nades going in, but finally a jump shot, and that's it for him. SCCP's member are also looking way too definitely awesome, I believe, but Prata finds one, and that's it for GZM Esports. At #9 with 0 finishes, that means they came very close. I believe they were surviving till the 5th circle, but look at that. Honor Sword also gets shut down. That's it for them. 1 position point and 5 finishes. That is going to get them the 6 position point, or 6 points of a game, to be precise, in a match. Apart from that, if we talk about Rise Esports, none. Well, he gets taken down. He was able to take one down. I believe the knockout is there, but eventually can they actually trade that knock to a finish? That's a big question for now. Mufasa, that's another beautiful guy who's trying to survive for now. 7 teams trying to place are there. Rise Esports definitely having a lot of advantage at this point. Zebra Masters, if I talk about them, there is a challenging match up ahead for them. Black Dragons also are trying to change, but Mufasa was able to take the finish. Oh, that was talent. A kill steal coming in. Oh, that's it. Zebra Master also gets casualized. Just 7 points out of this game, but look at that. Black Dragons, what a beautiful nade indeed coming in by Kilazada. He was able to find one. He's going to finish him off. Nuns and Mufasa are the 2 members surviving for now, and they are actually surviving barely on the edges, but there is a spray coming from Adrian's corner. Seems like that team EYC is actually going to come up with a beautiful support system for the team known as Black Dragon Esports, but Black Dragon Esports is a difficult fight for them. Spots one is able to finish him off. He's able to trade off another guy who has 9 finishes for now. Rise Esports versus Mufasa have got 4. Nuns have got 4 finishes. What an amazing game indeed coming from this particular team. But look at Knife and Skull. TH is the guy who is just literally surviving on the other edge, on the southern western corner, to be honest. There is nobody to chase him, nobody to actually contest him. But for now, seems like that he has to walk in the trap because the zone is not there favoring him. He has to travel a bit more. But Black Dragons Esports, the last man standing, the talent is the guy, but he was able to take one down with a beautiful M4 section glacier. He was able to rip apart a guy coming from this particular team. But finally, what was that? What was that? Exactly. I was literally expecting that the casualty is going to be there. Black Dragon Esports is going to get finished off, but no, that was not the case. What a beautiful comeback Indian coming in, and that too in front of a team which was having 9 or 10 finishes. What a beauty that guy was. No doubt in that. Black Dragon's talent. He's absolutely a talent for the team, I believe.
Well, exactly. What a gameplay! Like his HP, his health was extremely low, and I didn't actually thought about it. I thought that the Rise Esports stands all the chance, in this world, and Team Black Dragons, they don't even stand 0.01% because it's a 1v2. That to the other player was extremely low on HP, but the other guy, the second player, like who was alive from Team Rise Esports, is choked heavily, and well, it cost the team good number of frag finishes and good positional points. But Team USC Gaming, they have been eliminated at #5 with 3 elimination points. Last 4 team and 9 players are barely minimally surviving in this particular map. I'm talking about, the one player from Team Knife and Skull. He needs to jump in the game. That's going to be TH, but talent versus TH. What is going to happen? Has talent, spotted that there's one guy right behind him? Is he going to, eliminate out that guy as well and push into the circle with all his backs cleared out, or hasn't he yet noticed that there's someone, at this back? Let's see what happens. Is utilizing the red spot right now, but there it goes. TH definitely knows that there's someone. Both the players have spotted each other. The shots are being taken off, but definitely is going to be talent who takes him out, and talent with his awesome talented IQ gameplay. What a beautiful gameplay this guy is putting out right now, and definitely he's going to, go further. He's going to grab a more 1 to 2 finishes for sure. I think so, but there it goes. Even the zone is coming from the back. 2 players from the front. I don't think there's any chance of survival, and exactly Team Black Dragons eliminated at #3 with 5 elimination points. Last 2 teams, 7 players surviving right now. It's going to be Temperators on the one side and Team SCCP on the second. It's a battle of 4v3, 4 players from Team Predators and 3 players from Team SCCP. What's going to be the situation? Player 3 pushing a bit forward, but the circle is about to shrink. Yeah, but there it goes. The circle is shrinking. The circle is about to shrink with a time span of less than 4 seconds. The greatest active utilities are coming out of the battlefield right now. All the weapons are being fully loaded up. The health bars are completely, boosted up. Let's see what happens. But Team SCCP, they're forced to go for a rotation. There it goes. Player 3 spots him out. Yeah, I don't think so. That could have been a good one over here, good finish point over here for player 3. But the cover was indeed a very good one as well. So well, he wasn't able to grab that finish point. But Pratal, meanwhile, trying to push. And, well, that's going to be a deadly one for him.
But the UMP45 finds one. Pratha is actually going to go down to the rust. Team Predators is looking very confident at this point that they can actually back out the winner chicken. But look at that on the back end. There is a guy who's actually having the arm in his hand. That's absolutely amazing. And that could be Rin if I'm not wrong. But yes, on the other corner, we're talking about Bruno's in. Waits for the right opportunity. Has got the S12 in his hand. Maybe not able to find a knockout, but yes, he does. He is able to take one down, and that's going to be player 4. But from the other corner, there are some more rays coming in. But he was able to tag him down as well. What a beautiful shot indeed. His aim precision is actually on par. And look at that, eventually in the last circle as well, in the last few zones, in the last few fights, these guys are able to use and get the advantage of SLK. Even the shot was there for player 5, but eventually he was able to take him down. The enemy, to be precise, and now it's Manga Rose, the last man standing of his team particularly, maybe going for the heal battle. Exactly before that, he's going to repass himself first of all so that he can take up a fight. But no, the zone pressure is also coming in. What was that? He should have healed himself, but this is what we call the panic situation coming in. Even the top teams coming from Brazil can be getting the panic situation in the faces. Reason being, this is a game, this is a map where the dynamic shifts are way too high, where you never know what will happen and eventually you can't predict the possibilities. So that's exactly what happened to the last member from SCCP or Corinthians that was known as Manga Rosa. He was unable to configure that he should go for the first aid healing, or does he have even the time to actually heal himself or not. But eventually, yes, the winner chicken is finally going to go in the hands of Team The Predators. They will be able to grab, I believe, somewhere around 21 points of a game, and that would be lovely. A great start indeed coming in this day.
Well, exactly, like that's going to be a good start over them, good start over here for them as well. But if Team Rise Esports, if at least 3 of the players would have been surviving at that particular point of time, they could have easily gone further till #3, and with 10 plus finishes on #3, that could, that could have put them at a very good spot indeed. And if the still 9 finishes is actually good amount of finishes compared to the 1 or 2 of multiple different teams, and if they continue the streak, definitely it's going to be a lot beneficial over there for them. But talking about Team Predators, a team which has managed to secure that winner chicken dinner, have grabbed 10 elimination points and 10 placement point, total 20 points from one single solo match. It's going to be one awesome one, and well, over the rank it's going to be so definitely they have been jumped up from the bottom to the bit top. But talking about the player, the player stats, player 3 with 3 eliminations, player 4 with 2 eliminations, player 5 with 3 eliminations, and okay, Red W, he has just 2 single eliminations within his backpack right now. Talking about the total team, that's going to be indeed a beautiful eliminations that they have managed to secure, and as well as the winner chicken. So that's definitely wrapping up their level of confidence as well, boosting them up so that they can perform much better in the second match. But what do you think, Raider? Will Rise Esports come with a good comeback, or else it's going to be Team Predators who will be putting out their awesome gameplay, or it's going to be Team EYC, which team was able to grab the very winner first, winner second, and the map of ERANGEL yesterday?
See, what will happen is a speculation that we have to make as a caster, but eventually I'm actually going to just say what I want to actually watch, and that is to see some new faces coming up in the game. That's exactly what happened in Team Predators perspective. They were able to bag out a beautiful win manager container, but let's talk about the teams to watch first of all. Let's talk about those details, those minute details which can actually tell us the story. Even if you are actually unable to watch out the whole match, you can actually just witness the whole details that we are going to tell you guys and eventually know what happened in the game. First of all, it was Team Predators which was able to back out the beautiful win manager container. That was a 20-pointer game. They were able to rotate for 6,316 meter. The total 23 tables were used, 12 nades were there, 3 airdrops were looted. Full squad time, if I talk about that, we have got 23 minutes and 33 seconds. If I talk about the survival of Rise Esports, they had traveled 13,296 meter, 11 nades, 12 smokes from the corner. But apart from that, if I talk about Black Dragons and Corinthians, they were able to rotate somewhere around close to like 10,000 meters. But when it comes to the throwables used, it was also pretty much similar. Look at that. If I talk about the number of smokes, there is a huge difference between the number of smokes used by Black Dragons and the number of smokes used by Corinthians. There is a difference of 5 nades, I believe. But that's it, guys. That's the kind of difference that we are expecting. Moving up ahead, if I talk about the MVP, that is definitely going to be from the team known as EYC Gaming, because definitely he had 1 finishes, although the number of damage was way too high. Look at that. 774 is actually going to be the number of damage that the Adrian was able to dish out. Rebels used were 12, 1 assist to be precise. That's how the game went for Team EYC.
Well, exactly, and Raider, like I was actually having a look somewhere else, and as you told, the damage of 7,000 amp, I was like, wait a minute, 7,000? Are you even serious? How many finishes has he taken off? But talking about match ranking, well, it's going to be Team Predators at the top, Rise Esports at second, Team Black Dragons at third with 10 total points. Okay, Rise Esports, but just look at the number of points, 11 finishes as well. On fourth, it's going to be Corinthians with 10 as well. Life and Skull at fifth, Zebra Masters at Hashtag 6 with 7 points. On its souls at 7 with 6. EYC Gaming at 8 with 6 points. INCO Gaming at 9 with 4 points. And Team X, or you can say XTEAM, on 10th with 3 points into the backpacks right now. Smokey, Sport Influence, CHEMIN, and both the teams have managed to secure just 1 single solo point, and the rest of the team that are going to be Loop Esports, Alpha 7, MANDRAKES Esports, and CZM Esports with none of the points into the backpack from this particular match. But match summary, there it goes. Highest elimination goes to Rise and News over here with 4 eliminations. It's going to be Guardian with the highest damage. That is going to be 774. Talking about highest assist, well, player 3 with 4 assists. Like, just imagine if he had all the finishes into his backpack, that would have been made him definitely the top fragger. But talking about highest healing, Dan, it's going to be player 3 as well. That is 486, and highest knocks is going to be Mufasa from Team Rise Esports. That is going to be 5 knockouts. If he would have managed to grab those finishes, definitely that would have made a lot of impact on the team. Total eliminations.
Totally agree on that particular point, but mass stats are here. 55 total eliminations. 7,919 is going to be the total healing done. If I talk about the total knockouts, that's 64. 182 throwables being used, 4 airdrop being looted, 10 headshots with 23 total rescues in the game. What a game indeed. And if I talk about the longest elimination, that comes from Team Corinthians, or should I say SCCP. Prata is the guy who was able to get it out with a 339 meters of a distance with his elimination. What a beautiful game indeed coming from his corner. But now moving up, if we talk about the overall ranking, it's Rise Esports once again, which is going to be on top. They are maintaining their consistent approach. If you guys remember, in the previous one they had, I believe, 55 or 57 points if I'm not wrong, but now they've secured 66. So they are maintaining their buffer. They are trying their level best to actually claim that first position before even the second day gets over. There is going to be a buffer of close to 50 points between first and second position. It is actually going to be quite difficult for other teams to actually come back on that particular point. But XTEAM, although they were not that consistent, but they are still trying their level best to survive and eventually pull up some good points. Influence Gaming also coming up really very close to Team XTEAM. Flamingo Esports 23 points, although they just have to play 1 more match, I believe. Today they are actually going to get 4 matches. As per the schedule, guys, remember, every single team is going to get 4 matches each. In every day, to be honest. So from the second place, I believe, from the second page, we can see that it's Loop Esports, which is going to start the page with 24 points in their favor.
Well, exactly. Talking about Team Sci-Fi Esports at hashtag 123, talking Team Black Dragons at hashtag 11 with 22 points into the backpacker. Team Knife and Skulls at 12 with 21. It's going to be INCO Gaming at hashtag 13 with 19. Talking about Team ZZM Esports with 15 points. On 15th, it's going to be Team Honor Souls with 13 points. At 16th, or you can say hashtag 16, it's going to be Team Brazilian Killers with 12 points. But ending with the ending charts over here. Seminar Masters with the hashtag 17 at total 9 points. Smoky Esports with 5 points. Storm Gaming with 2. And at the bottom most is going to be Alpha 7 Esports with 0 points. Wait a minute, Alpha 7 didn't even manage to grab a single point in the overall. Well, that's going to be a bit of sad news over here for the team and for the fans of Team Alpha 7 Esports. They definitely need to change their strategical gameplays and the way they change the gameplay. But we will need to have a look at the point. Definitely, I'm hoping that they come back with a good one and go at least a jump ranking so in the total charts over there. But Raider, the second match will start after some time, I think so. So how about a break?
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
All right, as promised, after a short break, indeed, we are back. My name is Raider. Along with me on Caster Deck, we have got Everted. To be honest, guys, today's day is looking a little bit more on the shaky corner because from the start, there are some new faces which we are actually witnessing, be it Team Alpha 7 Esports or some of the teams like Team Predators, which are banging out the winner chicken runners. Definitely, the competition is taking up a notch, but let's talk about the schedule first of all so that we can know and give you the quick recap as well. Well, first of all, the recap, match number 6, which was in the hands of Team Predators, was a 20-pointer of a game in the map of Miramar. But now moving up ahead, Everted, we are moving to ERANGEL. What are your expectations?
Well, it's going to be the most common map, and the players are, familiar with every single rotation, with every single hiding spots, with every single, perspective. So it definitely is going to be a match, to have a look at. Yesterday, the Erangels were, much more competitive than the Miramar. So, yep, and especially today, the players are way too aggressive from the very initial, stage. And the passive phase is completely turning out into one aggressive one, and the whole map is turning out to into a complete rage scenarios over there. The players are pushing like hell, jumping out of the other teams and players to grab as many finishes and extract every single point from the particular matches right now, as we have seen already in the very first match. Because from what I actually imagine today would be happening, the same is going to be same we are witnessing right now. The players are See, today is the second day. The players will be, trying to extract as much points as they can so that it won't, cause them much troubles tomorrow. Like even if they, even if they don't perform with that good tomorrow, it can still be, good situation. Just imagine Team Rise Esports having that 50-point lead and they choke up in 2 matches of tomorrow. They will still be, having a quite a good, distance between them and the team at the very second position. So that would definitely, make a lot of help to them. So definitely the teams will be trying to, push up as much as they can today, and still they will be trying tomorrow as well. So the much the merrier.
Indeed, the more points you have, it is actually going to help you a lot in terms of the leaderboard. Definitely, I would actually agree on that. But when it comes to the fight part, it's starting close to the Salber region. It is going towards like Nova Ripnoy and close to military base as well. So it's a beautiful fight path, and eventually a lot of picks could come in along with it. Look at that. In number of teams are there. I believe total 16 teams are actually going to be there with the full manpower. There is nobody, not even a single team which is actually losing a player. So this game can be a fruitful one. 64 players that are actually going to be there in the lobby are going to bring us with a lot of fights, bring us with a lot of chaos, I believe. And I'm actually quite excited about that fact as well. But yeah, there we go. The flight path is started. Teams are actually going to jump in. Some are in the Yasnaya Polyana, some are jumping towards like Severny, some are there in the Salber region, some are going for the Rozok. So yes, the ups and downs are something which is going to follow up.
Definitely, we need to have a look at that as well. But the teams and the players are, dispatching at a very different location. I guess initial clash are also going to be a thing to have are going to be the thing to be taken into considerations right now. The Rosok city is going to be one, chaotic location. I'm assuming because multiple teams have decided to jump out of that location. Team Typhon Skull, Team Influence, CHEMIN, and well other teams as well. Team Smoke Esports, well, they are going much further. But the circle, the first circle that we're witnessing, well, it's going to be quite eccentric. Nothing so special and nothing so odd as well at the same point. But yeah, it's quite simple, clear, and straightforward. And it's going to be quite easy as well for the players to rotate. But talking about XTEAM, they are at no Repnoy, so definitely they will get a good loot. But the rotations can be a bit like if they plan to come from the no Repnoy bridge, but if they plan to jump on from the military base bridge, then that's going to be a much easier task over there. But just look, 3 players, 2 teams at right next to each other, exactly opposite, and there it goes. Well, what was that? EBYC definitely losing out the initial battles. It's going to be okay. Well, I thought Shella was about to be knocked off, but that's not going to be the situation. But definitely he is extremely low on HP. Needs to push up his health right now. There. Oh, wait a minute. The grenade actually did did what it was supposed to do. Okay, wait a minute. I guess one player from Smoke is still knocked out. Yep, one player has been eliminated. One player is knocked off. But same goes for EYC. 2 players quite eliminated. And Team Smoke at the very initial stages have lost one good player, but also have managed to grab 3 finishers into the backpack.
After losing those many finishers, I believe they won't be comfortable in the next upcoming stages. So definitely looking forward to see what they will bring to the table. But for now, yes, as you said, Honored Soul is another beautiful team which is just trying their level best to survive and eventually maintain their kind of meta. That is definitely going to be a difficult fight, I believe. But yes, with the ups and downs that we are witnessing, it's Alpha 7 Esports trying to rotate beyond the shooting range region. It's not going to be an easy approach, I believe. The rotations that is going to come in will definitely be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more aggressive, I believe. But they have to cope with it. They have to survive a bit more because Alpha 7 is a team which was unable to prove themselves quite fruitful in the near upcoming stages. So this is the match where they have to come up with a beautiful banger or maybe a chicken dinner so that they can secure the hopes of those fans which are here to witness the carnage coming from Alpha 7 Esports.
Well, exactly. Team Alpha 7 Esports, they are the team at the very bottom position. They will need to, this is not what you do, especially when you are playing against the top teams, right next to you. And, well, that's a very, very, rookie move over there by Team Alpha 7. And, what was that? They didn't even stop to revive one of the teammates who has been knocked off. They didn't want to, take any kind of risk. And just to look at that poor play, oh my poorness. That is extremely not so good over there. And well, he's just, sitting idle. But I guess there's still hope for him. One player has, finally came back. They have realized every single teammate, is as an asset over there. But Team Predators, Red W, well, he is, quite tentative. He's quite, tenacious at the same point, but definitely not looking where he should be looking. Because the team is right behind the ridges. Well, I need to, record at that point. But exactly, team It was a great match indeed over there for them. And the last match was great, but this match could have been a good start, but definitely that was not. And there it goes. The revival procedure has been completed. The player has been picked off, and well, they just ran so quickly for the lives. That was like one funny move from team. Well, Alpha 7.
See, in order to survive, I believe they have to pull up the socks and eventually come up with some good, brilliant plans. That's exactly what Alpha 7 Esports is missing for now. But I believe they can actually come up with some good blows in the near future. And I'm actually quite excited to see what happens from their corner, because 6 matches have been passed. I believe 5 matches for Alpha 7 Esports is already done. Knife and Skull on the other corner is looting the areas of Rozok. They are definitely enough at this point in this particular area. There's nobody contesting them. And I really hope that there is not going to be a contestment for now. But let's see how far they will be able to go. What kind of statement they are actually going to make to the table is going to be a big question for now. Seems like that these approaches can be slippery. The slopes can be risky one. But Smoke Esports, another beautiful team in the lobby. They are also trying to survive. They're also trying to maintain the legacy for the team. The thing is, they have to actually become a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the points. Because if they are not going to get those points, some other team is going to rake up those points and eventually come back with some beautiful points in their favor.
Well, exactly. You need to have a look onto that. And well, 16 teams and 60 players are remaining right now. Well, that's a good amount of players and good amount of teams present, because this is the very initial stage of the map, and the surface circle is about to shrink in quite a few times. So it's nothing to be worried about. All the teams are passively looting out to the regions. They are not that much bothered to be looking around and checking out whether the teams or players are right next to them or not, because even they know that other teams and players might be focusing on the loots rather than pushing at this early stage, because no one wants to get indulged right now. It's quite a bit early as well. Yeah, definitely we have witnessed the battles, but those were the rotational clashes or the drop location fights that we have witnessed. It's not like some team is pushing out the team and they are starting off with the fight, but Team Sapphire Esports going on to a different location, well, gathering up loots from smaller regions and just holding on to it like at the unexpected locations. But yeah, this is one unexpected locations where the teams and players might be wondering that there could be the enemy team just holding on to the positions right now. And there it goes with a beautiful Tesla skin over there. Team Sapphire Esports just rightly holding on to the locations with no two very less teams and players right next to each other. But there it goes. It's not looking like that good either over here for Godzi has spotted Pratap, but that was not one move that he should have done. Okay, but I guess Team SCP, they are not, they didn't even bother to look around for the player, even though they had, all the teams and players, all the players of the same team are just right next to them. They are just wandering up the circle, trying to get inside the circle, hold on to a good compound, and, look further in the match.
Totally agree on the point that this match is actually very crucial for these teams. And if we talk about Brazilian killers, they are pretty much close to the team which is known as SCCP or Corinthians, the previous team which was able to grab a lot of points, to be honest. But no, it's not going to be that easy. I would totally agree on that particular point. But it seems like that it is actually going to create a lot of ruckus. A lot of changes has to be there. A lot of exchange of those blows are actually going to be there. They're not trying to rotate. They're trying to actually get as many as buggies as possible so that they can rotate and get those fruitful rotations done, to be precise. But yes, things can change rapidly. And I really hope this rapid change of the things can change a lot of perspective for those players. But there is a clash. There is definitely a clash coming up in the close quarters of Rozok and vicinities like that. But look at that. If we talk about the INCO gaming, they are definitely trying their level best to rotate. Flamingo Esports is also there pretty much close to the farm and Milta region, but there are some shots that could come in from Influence Gaming. They're trying to scout the positions of Team Predators. They might be successful in it, but definitely not that easy for them to survive.
Well, exactly. Not that easy, but not that hard as well, because definitely, they are quite familiar with the moves and, the strategies of the enemy teams, as well as they have already played out day one, and they are, still playing around them. So definitely a better few games, and you easily understand what the enemy teams could be doing, but definitely coming up with a complete new strategical gameplays. Every single map is a very challenging thing, but if you do that, definitely you're going to, grab multiple points from a single, in a single day, and it can be definitely beneficial for you. And Team Esports is one team which is quietly performing the same thing what I'm talking about, but just look at the beautiful skin of going sick Akira as well. And yeah, the teams and players that they are quite onto the rotations, they are okay. Well, influence gaming, I think Federal had spotted someone, but there's no enemy team right next to him. Talking about team INCO, well, they are going for a good rotation, quite from a close by area from team Sci-Fi and between the regions of Pochinki. But yep, they have taken off from there. They are way too far from team Sci-Fi right now, and well, I have no idea where they are going, but definitely a good location to hold on to, a good compound where they can stay for a much longer duration and grab as many finish points as they can, or grab at least a few free positional points from there. But XTEAM Renan just coming off with his two-wheeler, changing it for a four-wheeler and jumping back again to his team. The next circle is about to shrink within a time span of less than 10 seconds. There it goes. The pop-up is definitely going to jump in very very shortly, but the next circle is going to be arriving very very shortly as well. So definitely the teams and players might be getting ready for the rotational clashes, and they might be predicting, the IGLs might be predicting where the next circle can be. And well, you never know, some teams might have already started off with their rotations, and I guess Team X is one of them, as well as Team Predator, which are going for a good quiet rotation.
Well, definitely they have to go for those rotation, but Team Predators and SSCP, they are coming a little bit closer to each other. There could be some shots, there could be some takedowns coming in. I really hope that these fights are going to be there, because as a caster, as an audience, I would love to see some amazing fights coming in for now, but I believe there is going to be a passive approach indeed. EYC is the one team which has lost 3 good players of the team. It's a sad approach indeed, and from Smoke Gaming, I believe there is another loss of blood, so that's definitely going to create a lot of ruckus in the game. I really hope that these particular two teams will be able to take the advantage out of this particular fight. But apart from that, yes, the aggression is something which is going to work out quite well. Yes, 16 teams, 670 players, 16 teams, 60 players are there. They are surviving. SCCP's Bruno's in with the buggy. He's trying to rotate well. At this point, we don't have a lot of things to talk about. Reason being, there are a lot of teams which are pretty much consistent about their rotations, pretty much considering these rotations as the main key factor of their particular fights as well, I believe. But Zedem, the team known as Zebra Master, let's see what they can bring to the table. A fight indeed which will be worth watching. Looking forward to see what happens for now. Zebra Master, we have got Kozan and other members as well. They are looting a beautiful vicinity close to ruins. There's nobody to contest them. Seems like that team Knife and Skull is coming up a little bit closer to them, but yes, the fights are still not going to be there.
Definitely the fights are the fights are not there yet, but definitely they're going to be, starting soon. As there it goes, the kill feed has already been sort of Federal coming up with one beautiful frag point indeed, and there it goes. The zone is about to, shrink with a time span of less than 5 seconds, and the next circle has arrived, about to arrive shortly. The teams Zebra Masters, they are on for a good rotation, but X team and one more the team, they are very close to, the regions of Pochinki, the church house of Pochinki. Talking about Team Predator, player 5 has been knocked on, and well, the revival procedure hasn't completed successfully. Team INCO is just right next to them. Okay, it's Federal from the opposite side who had knocked out player 5, if I'm not wrong, but definitely Team Influence CHEMIN, they are not either pushing as well as not holding on to the location. They are just wandering around here and there, looking out for the enemy teams and players, and trying to knock few players, damage their gears and utilities, and deplete out the utilities, the consumables from the enemy team, so that it will be much harder for them, for the enemy teams at the very later stages of this particular match right now. But the circle, well, it's quite centric compared to the the circles that we had witnessed quite early. But definitely the teams and players, they might need to rotate, and Team Influence Command is one of the teams which is currently outside the circle. They need to cover a distance of 280 plus meters, and I'm assuming that they think there's some team nearby, and yeah, there is one enemy team just right next to them.
See, in order to gain those points, they have to build some synergy. They have to actually go for the finishes. That's exactly MANDRAKES Esports and XTEAM is what trying to do. Can they actually survive at this point? That's a big question. But look at that. There is a vehicle rotation coming in. This could be the opportunity that Acid is just waiting for. But seems like that is not going to actually ignite that fire, ignite that shot, because there is no backup whatsoever. But from the other corners, Team Storms, Lazin is actually going to find one. And that is actually going to be a great knockout coming from the corner of Team Storm Gaming. Sci-Fi Esports, Sci-Fi Gaming, or whatever I want to call them, is now having a lot of trouble. There is a nade coming in from Storm's Pereira's corner. Another beautiful shot coming up indeed. They are trying to actually patch up and eventually gain as many as finished as possible. Although it won't be that easy. Look at that beautiful shot. 3 players have been taken down from Team Storm Gaming, and that's it. Alazin is actually going to be the last member standing, and Enzin has to fall back. He has to survive a bit more. Otherwise, he's going to get completely shut down. And if that happens, Storm Gaming's hope of actually securing some good points in this particular match is also going to get shut down.
Well, exactly. The matches have already started off. The players are, getting ready right now. And, well, even, trying to extract. Well, the shots are definitely outgoing. And the incoming shots on team Sci-Fi have already taken out one player. And it's going to be Lennon 7777, but definitely they need to have a look like whether he gets knocked out again, or else he's going to be the one, extracting the finish points for his team by eliminating out the enemy teams. But the circle, just a look, the circle is shrinking as well, and there it goes, the arm shot that I'm witnessing into the kill fit, and that to a headshot. That's definitely indeed a beautiful one. I hope we had witnessed that a good headshot connection of an arm. It would have been a great one after a very long time, but we missed out on that point. Part team influence came in trying to eliminate our team Predators and finish trying to get some few points into the pockets as well. But team Predators, they have already secured a good number of finishes and points in last match, hoping that they do in this one as well, so that they can go much further up. But Team Rise Esports, they are quite below and at a quite good locations right now, so they don't need to worry about that thing. But definitely multiple teams and players, a majority of the teams and players are outside the circle. They need to get inside the circle as early as possible. But Team Knife and Skull are not looking like so good over here. They are almost on the verge of elimination. Okay, wait a minute, 3 of the players are still remaining. Only 1 player is about to be eliminated right now. But Team SCP, not so good over here, not so good. But there it goes, Knife and Skull. Oh, I thought like even when the player that jumped in is about to be rated as well. But yup, only 1 solo player is remaining. That is going to be Bruno Zin, and well, I don't think so he's going to be surviving for much longer durations either. Team Life and Skull, they are definitely going to push, utilize all the grenades that grenades and other resources that they have to grab that finish point as well. But the zone shrinking has already been started off. Definitely the players need to get inside circle, or else they are going to be tagged out by the police zone, which is not a beneficial thing over there for them. But yeah, the teams which are inside the circle, that holding on to a good location, they can definitely keep make a great come up with a great gatekeeping scenarios, and try extracting few finishes for them as well.
I would say that every single point is going to matter a lot. Flamingo Esports on the other going to find 1. That's Alpha 7 Esports' member, which is getting shut down. But look at that SCCP. Oh, that was a deadly nade. That was a fatal one. Knife and Skull was finally able to find him out and eventually put him down to the dust. So that's it for the casualty that is going to be there on the other corner. Look at that. There are some more partitions done. Ooh, a beautiful spray coming from Lorenzen's corner. That was a beautiful pick. Brazilian Colors unable to survive. 1 more member from Team Brazilian Colors has been taken down. The last few remaining players are just trying their level best to survive. But look at that shot. Eventually the body shot was there. What a precision. What a tracking down of the players coming in. Brazilian Colors, 1 good loss for the team is already there. Look at that. If we talk about Obscure, that was a guy who was able to secure 3 finishes for the team, but seems like that he has been taken down. He has been shut down, but Brazilian Killers have to pay with their lives at this point, because there are 2 more members who have been taken down from Brazilian Killers' perspective. And the remaining, well, they are just trying their level best to survive and eventually maintain that consistency that is required at this point. The last few players are actually going to get in a tug of war between Knife and Skull and the other team that is going to be there on the particular edges. So I really hope those fights are going to be there. I really hope some beautiful results are actually going to come in, but there are a lot of teams which are stuck in the open areas. But this will change the game quite rapidly. 15 teams, 42 players are what we are having. Flamingo Esports Gigante gets taken down with the beautiful strike coming from Team Smoke Esports. What an amazing knockout indeed. With that, the finish is also there, but Flamingo Esports, after having the previous winner manager container, right now they're stuck at the 4th position, but seems like that their jump is not going to be there that easy.
Well, exactly, and there it goes. The battlefield has already been bombarding, has started been bombarding by the teams and the players. And just a look, Team Knife and Skull, they have been eliminated at hashtag 15 with the 4 elimination point. Team Smoke Esports, they are just looking around here and there, around the Flamingo Esports, and trying to extract a few finishes into the backpack part. Not so good over here for Team Flamingo as well. Team Smoke, they are pushing, not so good over here, and there it goes. They are also almost out of the verge of elimination right now. But Team Life and Skull, they have been eliminated. Same goes over here for Team Smoke, I'm assuming. Yep, they have been eliminated as well. Exactly. Our hashtag 14 with 5 elimination points. Team Rise Esports, they have jumped onto the different team, and there it goes with a beautiful one. TV Vasa Gaming gets eliminated at the same point of time with one single elimination, and Team Rise Esports have started off with their points. They have started out with the fights right now, but Team Brazilian Killers, they have been eliminated as well. Just a look at that number of teams eliminated, within last 1 minute. That's going to be massive. Like 4 to 5 teams getting eliminated instantly. That's a massive number of drops that I've seen from yesterday. But once again, another fight starts up. It's going to be XTEAM, and the other teams that the battles have been started off within. And okay, well, Papa Kill has already spotted, but he has been spotted as well. A beautiful grenade indeed could be fatal over here for him, but definitely his teammates coming up, jumping from the back onto the team players, and Team Influence Gaming, well, they are also eliminated. What is actually happening, Raider? What is this match turning up to? This has been a lot of chaotic situations over here for the players, but Team MANDRAKES Esports, they are also almost on the verge of elimination right now. It's just a godsend. Like, he's on over HP right now, but there it goes. He has been knocked out as well. 2 of the players are still surviving, but I don't think so they can survive for much longer durations either. There it goes. J-Hose goes down as well. Now Acids is that solo player. The grenades are jumping in. He's going to be eliminated as well. And but Team Sci-Fi gets quickly eliminated right before Team MANDRAKES Esports, and it's just a matter of time. Team MANDRAKES Esports gets... Okay, there it goes. I was about to say, and I said, and it happened eventually. Team MANDRAKES Esports has been eliminated at hashtag, well, okay, the position, but just 2 elimination points.
Oh man, these eliminations, well, they are creating a lot of ruckus to be precise in the lobby, but look at that. There are some good shots coming from Team Predator's corners as well, but there is a trade fire for Team Predator. Player 3 has been traded off at this point, but survival is something which is going to be definitely impactful. I really hope that the survival is going to be there. I really hope that the change of the pace of this particular game is going to be there for the team, but seems like that, no, it won't be that easy. Look at the kind of damage that we were talking about. Oh, but now Team Predators is the one team which is just trying his level best to survive, is trying their level best to maintain that meta. But XTEAM has been eliminated once again. They are unable to cross over that fact. Rise Esports is there with the full manpower, so definitely they are the one team which can easily have the advantage of winning this particular match and maybe maintaining their buffer along the way.
Well, Team Alpha 7 Esports, they have been eliminated as well as hashtag 6. The zone is about to shrink. The next circle is about to jump. Team Predator Esports, they have managed to secure 3 finishes into the backpack in this particular battle. But player 5 has been knocked off. He has been eliminated. Only 2 of the remaining players are surviving. That is going to be player 3 and Red W from Team Predators. And well, INCO Gaming, well, they already have the intel on the location, but the Team Zebra Masters, they are pushing towards the open field. They are going to utilize the vehicles as the hard covers, so definitely that's a thing to be looking around. Let's see whether their plans work out or not. But Team Rise Esports jumping in from the back. Team INCO didn't actually expect that to be happening, and then it goes. Rise Esports pushing harder and harder, and trying to grab as many points as they can from this particular match, so that they can jump up much higher. But there it goes, a better closer view. Predator Esports, well, Team Predator, my bad, they are also coming, pushing in closer part in quarter 6, so they can survive much longer durations. The Team Rise, they definitely need to hold on to their situations right now. Okay, 2 of the players are down, only 2 players are remaining, but it's going to be okay. Well, the solo player, all the responsibilities of the team is upon this player, but Team INCO Gaming gets eliminated at hashtag 5 with just 2 elimination points, and Team Rise, 3 of the players are down, but yup, they are still surviving 6 eliminations. Talking about Team Storm Gaming, they have been eliminated as well. Last top 3 team, 9 players. It's a situation of 4v3v2 if I'm not wrong, but there it goes. Team Predator loses one of the players. That is going to be player 3. Red W's now that solo individual player surviving from the Team Predator, but as I say, he has been eliminated as well at the same point of time. Team Predator is eliminated at a hashtag 3 with 3 elimination points. Zebra Masters with all of the 3 players, and it's going to be Team Rise Esports with all of the 4 players surviving. It's a battle of 3v4. Both the teams are inside the circle. The next circle is about to shrink shortly, but there it goes. With an RX 777 has already rebuilt out his location, so he has been quite exposed, but I don't think so the fight is about to come up with any good results for any of the teams. Let's see what happens. I have no clue where this battle is going to be around.
Well, for Zebra Master, I believe Within is the one which is actually getting a lot of depletion of his HP, and he's trying his level best to survive for now. But the thing is, both of the teams are pretty much on the edges of the play zone. So this is a match where the things can change quite rapidly. But the thing is, Zebra Master is going to be one team. Having the advantage of the manpower is going to be another thing for Rise Esports. Rise Esports is the team which was able to be consistent, which was able to secure 66 points in their favor in the past 5 matches that they played, and now this is the 6th one, and they're already bagging out 6 finishes from their favor. They're already bagging out at least 6 points if they get finished off right here, right now. So it's a 12-pointer game for them at least. And if the chicken comes in, it would be absolutely amazing. If the chicken is going to be there, that would be an auspicious moment for Mufasa and his teammates. But Mufasa, while he's trying to rotate, his teammate Nuns is going to be the one who's going to directly slam on onto the drop. And look at that, he's also going to get the drop advantage. And just not that, he's also going to get the particular cover that is required, that was required, to be honest, because now look at the zone. It's not favoring Zebra Master, it is not favoring Rise Esports, but Rise Esports is the one team whose Nuns is actually the member who is now actually taking the advantage of the particular play zone. The 6th play zone is going to get shrunken down. 20 more seconds to go. After that, these guys have to push forward. The smokes are something which is going to work out quite well. Seems like that everybody's just going to focus a bit more on the smokes, a bit more on the approaches of those fatal areas. There are some shots going on the mushroom tower so that they can ignite a fire, so that they can actually take 1 or 2 down. But there is a slam coming in. Look at that nade. This could be a precision nade. This could actually find Mufasa. Flash damage coming in, but no, look at that vehicle flying from the boulders. But there is a knockout. 7 finds 1, and that's going to be solid top. And just like that, Team Zebra Master, which was already far low in the manpower, is now also getting traded off. But Zebra Master was like, no, we are going to equalize the situation by actually taking one of your player round. And that's exactly what happened. Within is actually trying to cook up another beautiful nade. This could be another set of knockout coming in, but Nuns, with the smokes, he's also trying to push forward onto that boulder. That knockout could be quite credible. That could be quite important for now. Let's see what kind of knockouts we are actually going to get followed up with. Yes, the splash damages are there, but the guy known as Solotov is completely trying to fall back, but no, he gets spotted. He is going to get finished off. There is no chances that Team Rise Esports wants to go with and let go this particular matchup. But yes, the way they're performing, yes, the way they are actually keeping the pace of the game, seems like that Rise Esports is pretty much confident. It's a 2v4 approach coming in. That means Witten and Rafa, both of them have to take at least 2 players if they want to equalize the kind of meta, equalize the kind of standing. And Zebra Master, well, a spray indeed. But the retaliation coming from 7's corner was also way too high. And just like that is Rise Esports, which is again having the advantage. But Rafa comes up with some good nades. These pixel pointed nades can actually illuminate his position, and that could actually come up as an elimination. And that's exactly what happened. Rise Esports finally gets the game in their favor. And just like that, Rise Esports having the advantage of 9 finishes and 10 for the position points. That means it's a total of 19 point of a game for Rise Esports. They already had 66 points. With this game, I believe they are going to reach out to 79 pointers, or some 79, not 79, I believe, some more points, I believe. So that's a beautiful game indeed coming in. Up 85 pointer game, I believe that will be there for the team of Rise Esports. Was expecting a bit more from Rise Esports, but even then eventually the expectations are going to surpass with a beautiful win of a chicken dinner by this particular team. Look at that. Now let's see what kind of position they have. Obviously the first one, and it is a 19 pointer game coming from the corner. The damage is going to be 1180. That means 1180 is the right amount of damage these guys were able to dish out.
Well, exactly. A good number of finish points as well as, good number of placement points as well. So it's going to be total 19 points once again from this particular match. Just a look at the number of finishes, number of, points that are extracting from every individual match today. That's a massive jump, from what we have seen already yesterday. Talking about Team Rise and Nuns over here with 4 eliminations. Mufasa with 2 eliminations, 7 with 2 elimination, and Fake 6 over here with 1 single elimination. But definitely that's going to be a, lot of impeccable performance over here by them. Our Team Rise Esports, they are just rising and rising up. They, are looking about to go down. They aren't choking up the situations that, they are done in the match one. For a moment, the circle was, into a quite open region, and I thought, the Zebra Masters can have a chance to, the winner of a chicken dinner, but Team Rise Esports just portrayed out that, nope, sorry dear, you are wrong for the situation. You are, like at a wrong thinking point, but definitely we are going to be the one who's going to grab that winner of a chicken dinner. With all of the 4 players surviving and starting out of the first, they have managed, and yep, they have shown why they are still rising, and they will keep rising and keeping up with the game.
Well, we talk about the team to match. I believe we are actually going to talk about 4 amazing teams which have acquired a lot of points, which have acquired a lot of distinct advantage in this particular game. First of all, let's talk about Rise Esports. They have traveled for 6,975 meters. That is pretty much close to 7,000 meter distance. But when it comes to the throwables that were used, I believe 16 nades, 23 smokes, one airdrop that was rooted. I believe it was in the last 6 circle, if I'm not wrong. That was also quite intensive. But for Zebra Master, look at that, 34 smokes, pretty close to 6,000 meters of a rotation coming from the corner. But yes, that kind of impact with the smokes was absolutely on point. When it comes to Team Predators, from their corner, 10 kilometers of a rotation was pretty much there in the hands. 2 nades, 14 smokes, that's what they had. But let's talk about the MVP. That is going to be written because he had 7 elimination. And not just that, 821 damage was there. Triples used were 14. Assist was 1. So what a game indeed coming from this particular guy's corner.
Well, definitely a very, applaudable gameplay from with an RX 777. What an awesome gameplay this guy has put it out, and it's going to be definitely a lot of things for the Zebra Masters. The Zebra Masters were quite suffering from the points, but definitely after this they are going to jump up. But there it goes. The elimination chart is right up to right before our eyes. It's going to be just have a look. The beautiful amount of damages that the Rise Esports has already taken off 1,180 with 9 eliminations. And talking about Team Zebra Master, those who have managed to grab the second finish point, is going to be 10 eliminations with 1,304 damage points. On third is going to be Team Predators with 3 finishes, but 114 damage. On fourth is going to be Sci-Fi with 7 finishes, as we can see. Storm Esports with 2 eliminations, Knife and Skulls with 5 eliminations. But talking about INCO, well, the damage and the number of finishes that they have managed to grab is quite different. Just 2 eliminations, but 1,406 damage. That's a massive amount of damage that they have given out, but the frags that they have secured is not quite up to the damage that they have given out. But talking about Team Brazilian Killers at the talking about Alpha 7, well, this is the team with the least amount of frags as well as the least amount of damage. That is going to be just 46. So that's definitely the thing to be considering for that team as well. But talking about the match ranking, it's going to be Team Rise Esports at the top with 19 total points. On second, it's going to be definitely Zebra Masters with 16. On third, it's Team Predator with 8 points. On fourth, hashtag 4 is going to be Sci-Fi Esports with 7. Hashtag 5 Storm Gaming with 6. Hashtag 6 Knife and Skull with 5. Hashtag 7 Smoky Esports with 5. 8 and on 8th is going to be Flamingo Esports with 5 points. XTEAM and INCO Gaming with 5 points respectively as well. Influence CHEMIN with 3 points. Corinthians, MANDRAKES Esports, Alpha 7 with 2 points each, and EYC Gaming and Brazilian Killers with 1 point as well.
See, the kind of retaliation that was required at that point was absolutely amazing. But match summary is the one thing that is actually showcasing us that there are a lot of perspectives that were dealt. For example, if we talk about the highest elimination, that is actually going to be in the hands of Britain. If we talk about the highest damage, that is also going to be in the hands of team known as Zebra Masters, and the guy is pretty much going to be within. From the other corner, if we talk about the highest knockouts, that's also going to be same. Meanwhile, if we talk about the highest assists, that comes from Sci-Fi's ERANGEL, and if we talk about the highest healing done, that is coming from Team Predators Player 3. Let's talk about next statistics. Let's talk about the next details that is going to be there for us. Every single thing, it is going to be important, no doubt in that. But now, look at that. The match stats are here. 68 total eliminations, 6,618 is going to be the total healing, 60 knockouts, 252 throwables being used, 3 airdrops being looted, 12 headshots appointed, 15 total rescues, and with that, the longest elimination in this particular matchup was of 301 meters.
But definitely 301 meters, the longest elimination distance. That's a good one as well. But 60 total eliminations and 6,600 is the total healings that we're witnessing. So that's a good one as well. Just imagine, half of them, like if the team, does that, then definitely that's a lot of things. But talking about the utilities, 252 utilities have been used. That's a massive number of utilities that were witnessed in a single solo match. But talking about the overall ranking post match 7, it's going to be Team Rise Esports with 85 points. Can you imagine the jump that they are taking every individual match? It's a massive one. Team Rise Esports with 35 points. On second, it's going to be XTEAM with 54 points. On third, it's going to be Influence Kevin with 51. Team Predators with 49. Flamingo Esports with 48. MANDRAKES Esports with 42. EYC Gaming with 38. And Corinthians with 36.
Whatever we wanted to see is actually here, and Rise Esports definitely having a jump at this point. But let's talk about the second page. We have got Sci-Fi Esports with 30 points, Knife and Skull with 26. Zepromaster with 25 points, INCO Gaming with 24 points, Loops Esports 24, Black Dragons with 22 points, GZM Esports 15, Brazilian Kids with 13 points. Let's move on to the last page of this particular statistics that is going to showcase us from 17th to the 19th position. Okay, now we have got 20th position as well. Honored Souls 13 points, Smoke Esports 10 points, Storm Gaming 8 points, Elf at 7 Esports 2 points. But that's all for now in the overall ranking. Now I believe Rise Esports is the one team which is having the highest amount of advantage when it comes to their points, the way they are performing, the way they are actually pulling up their points. It is looking quite hectic, and I believe if they are actually going to maintain this kind of consistency, it's going to be lovely. But for now, we'll take a short break, and after that, we'll be back with the third match, or match number 8 of the week number 2. Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro Sims presented by Ruthless Esports. The region is Brazil. We are at week number 2. Price pool is going to be of $300 of this particular week. Individually, if we talk about the whole situation, I believe I'm enjoying it. I'm actually looking forward to see what kind of ruckus is going to be there, what kind of ups and downs this leaderboard is going to bring for us. But me, Rita, along with me, it's everted on the desk, and hope you guys have already liked the stream. Subscribe to the channel because I guess there are 3 more matches for the day. And after that, we are going to witness 5 more matches tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe in order to witness all of that. But for now, let's move on to the schedule and eventually talk about the maps as well.
Well, exactly. Talking about the schedule, if I'm not wrong, it's going to the map of Miramar right now. But definitely, the players will be quite excited as well. But they will be a bit, furious and curious at the same point of time because it's going to be Miramar. They have already, seen the first Miramar match. It was quite, better troublesome situations for multiple teams and players. But exactly, just have a look. It's going to be the map of Golden Stars, the map of Ridges. We can say that troublesome map over here for the multiple teams and players. Talking about Picardo, it's going to be a fight again between multiple teams and players. Talking about San Martin, it's going to be a bit problematic over there for the different teams as well, because the initial clashes might be a bit of thing to be looking forward to, but well, the flight path is a thing that we as well as the audience might want to know. Even the players would be quite excited and curious to know what would be the flight path, so that they can
Definitely
plan their drop locations accordingly and they can plan their further match accordingly. But just imagine, like, you're jumping, you're just getting into the lobby thinking the flight path might be horizontal and it turns out to be vertical, especially favoring the regions that your drop location is southern. That might create a lot of ruckus situations into your team, and it can put you into panic situation, and eventually you drop off with an enemy team, and eventually you lose out the battle. That's going to be put you into a lot of troublesome situations, and well, definitely that's not something a team would want, or anyone would want. So well, that's a thing to be considering upon. But yeah, let's see what happens in this particular match. Rita, what do you think? Will Team Rise Esports get a better win over the second in this match, like compared to the first Miramar map, like where they choked on, or else it's going to be somewhat similar? What do you think?
How my words are gonna go, but I hope they don't get any more chicken in us, because I would love to see some new teams coming in. I would love to see that competition being there, and for that reason, yes, Rise Esports is a very commendable team. Yes, Rise Esports is one of those teams which loves to perform exceptionally well, which is absolutely amazing when it comes to their gameplay and meta. But I would love to see some other changes. I would love to see some more teams coming into the fight and eventually pulling up some amazing fights, to be precise. So that could be the case coming in. I really hope to see this kind of situation gonna be there. But apart from that, yes, in the next few minutes, next few seconds to be precise, we'll get to see of a flight path. With that, the play zone will be coming in. This is the match number 2, match number 3 for the precise region, where we'll get to see Miramar, and the fights will be actually going to be on point. So definitely looking forward to see what will happen in this particular matchup. Flight path is something which can easily change the pace of the game, maybe bring back some new fights, maybe bring back some new changes in the game as well. But look at the beautiful flight path that is going to be there. Let's see where the flight path is coming from. I believe it is going to start somewhere around from the northern corner, down to the southern one. Yes, it is starting from La Cobrea. That's my prediction. La Cobrea to the other angles. Okay, La Cobrea is a bit far away on the western side, but it is starting from areas like that, the northern one. There is no particular compound which is close to the flight path's initiation area, be it La Cobrea or Torre Amuda. But yes, it is ending towards Puerto Paraíso. So that is going to be the huge opening for those teams who love to drop in these kind of paths like Zebra Master or Loops Esports as well. Yes, Zebra Master is there in the game. Let's talk about Loops Esports. Yes, they are also there in the game. Remember, guys, the last previous fight, which was there, a 4v4 to be precise, in the particular area of San Martin. Can it repeat? That's the big question.
Well, exactly. It's a thing, to be looking on to. Let's see what happens, where the teams and players drop on to, and where the initial clashes are going to happen. Well, we haven't got into that point yet, but definitely we are going to, have a look onto that things as well. The teams and players are completely ready, and I guess some of the teams, they are quite ready for the initial clashes as well, and they know that, the teams are jumping out. Then, especially in the northern parts, we can see Team GZM and Team Storm right next to each other. Team Alpha 7 is also quite, close to Team Storm, so there can be a fight between Team Storm and Team Alpha 7 as well. But just a look at that first circle. Circle is completely favoring the southern eastern regions of the map and the mid, eastern parts of the map, especially in Pala, Los Leones, Puerto Paraiso, and other regions of the particular map. But definitely, majority of the teams are inside the circle, or onto the edge of the circle. But few teams are quite outside the circle right now, and well, they will eventually get in the circle. They don't need to worry about that part. They will, cover up the loot part. There it goes. A fight has already been initiated at the regions of Hacienda del Petron. Is going to be Team Loops. Well, the first Miramar was not a good sign over there for them. It was, match to be completely be forgotten of for that team, but it was a good one indeed, either for Team Zebra Masters as well. So let's see what happens. Which team is going to be the one, being eliminated at this particular match, or else is it going to be Team Loops, or is it going to be Team Zebra Masters? Zebra Masters, they are, eventually ramping up the gameplay. Eventually, they are, slowly and gradually coming up with a better and better strategies, and grabbing few positional as well as finish points. So let's see what happens. But definitely, Team Loops, they will also, they have also realized what the mistakes are, and it's quite a good game over there, a good wrangle over there for them. But let's see what happens in this particular one.
Let's see what happens for now. Exactly as you said, San Martin is the area where the fights are going to be there. But before that, it's Hacienda del Petron, the area where the Golden Mirado resides. But for now, the golden shots are something I'm actually waiting for. But look at that. Mythic is completely trying to change the angle. He's trying to flank and eventually pull up some good picks. It could be possible, but Sorodov is also waiting for the right opportunity. Nobody wants to actually go for those initial picks. If the initial picks come in, that loss could be quite detrimental for the team's survival. Witten, the guy who was able to secure 7 finishes in the previous one, is now just trying to wait, trying to figure out, trying to actually eliminate the facts of the fights for now. But look at that. From the other corner, it's Loops Esports. Judo is going to cook up with the nade. And that nade was not impactful, but definitely he tried his level best to actually go with the nades. But apart from that, I believe we are still going to just hold on, witness the carnage a little bit later. But for that, everything is just looking so passive at this point that not even a single team is coming up with some good blows. This drone shot, well, it is clearly showcasing us that where the players are rotating, where the players are actually witnessing the fights and stuff like that. Mythic comes up with a beautiful rotation. He can actually get that X factor in the game, but only if he survives, only if he's actually able to get that point in his favor, because it won't be that easy for him to survive if he gets spotted, if he gets taken down. Then I believe the other players are also going to be in trouble for Loopsy. So exactly that's what happened in the previous matchup, if you guys remember, in the first match of the day for the particular week number 2. What happened? That Loopsy Sports' one more member gets taken down, and after that, eventually everything goes out of their hands, because even a single casualty can change the pace of the game. So that's what I'm actually worried about.
Well, exactly. It's a thing, to be worried about actually, but talking about the teams and players, well, this, I'm assuming that this is not the only place where the initial clashes are about to be happening. The initial fights are about to be happening. There might be other teams and players at different other locations, which might be engaging themselves into the early clashes. But yeah, this is by far the one which is the closest that the teams are, and that too in a single compound. Team Loops, they know the location of Team Zebra Masters, and even the Team Zebra Masters know that there's another team with all the 4 players at this particular same location. Then it goes multiple aerial previews that we can come up from, we can have a look on to. But Ayala very very extremely close to within RX 777. But meanwhile, Solo though, well, he's actually at a good location as well. But Mythic is like at exactly the opposite side of him, to cover a solo toe. But then it goes, the first kill, the first blood is coming up from Papa Kill with a good, indeed a good start with the for X team. But West team is going to be the one which has faced, and it's going to be, if I'm not wrong, the one exactly, yeah, but it's well, the team has lost one of the player, and as well as one more of the player has been knocked out, so it's not going to be a good sign over there. A good start over there for them, but yeah, X team, a great good start, a quite good start indeed over there for them.
Maybe the start is good enough. Papakil, after having that initial frag, he's actually looking confident. He's actually looking decisive over the fact that he is to survive and eventually gain those amazing points. Apart from that, MANDRAKES Esports also waiting on doing a third party. Oh, that could be amazing, to be honest. Because look at that, Mythic is actually in the open spaces. The other guys who's actually going to have the rooftop advantage are also going to get popped off by the same team, which is known as MANDRAKES Esports. Looking forward to see what they are actually going to bring to the table, because for now, we are just waiting on that initial opening to get created, because apart from that, there's nobody who's trying to actually move the meta or maybe actually get the frags done. But Mythic, what a beautiful rotation this guy is indeed cutting up. I think that the rotational audio cues could be coming in. Ayla on the other corner is also there. Rise Esports, remember, this is a team which has got 85 points. With this match, they can actually go ahead and cross over the 100 points marker only if they are able to secure that win restriction. Although that won't be easy. But yes, Rise Esports is a team which maintains their consistency. All they have done in the past few matches was maintaining their consistency. So I'm looking forward to it. How far they will be able to go, how far they will be able to gain those amazing points. That's a big question for now. But everybody is there. They are just surviving. They are just witnessing. They're just trying their level best to gain those amazing points. But apart from that, 16 teams, 62 players is what we are having for now. But there we go. A beautiful knockout coming from Solotov's corner. The flank that we were actually witnessing, the flank that we were actually expecting is now coming up to end. But from the back end, Acid and his teammates from MANDRAKES Esports are also trying to push, are also trying to gain that advantage that is required at this point. But let's see how far they will be able to go, because now this is a moment which can change everything for teams like Loop Esports.
Well, exactly. Loops, they are not at a very good location in the right of. On the front is going to be Team Zebra Masters, and onto the back is going to be MANDRAKES Esports. Well, they are into a quite a sandwich situation. Well, it's well in the well. It's well in the front and well in the back as well, like as we see over here. But definitely, Team Zebra Masters are looking way too stronger as they were quite earlier, and they are quite a not inside the circle. So definitely they would need to push inside the circle, get inside the circle, or else they're going to face a very low damage from the circle, as it is quite the early phases. But yeah, but Team Storm, they are quite slowly and gradually trying to get inside the circle via the vehicles that they have found. Part talking about sci-fi, they're also getting into the circle, and exactly right in front of them, Nacho Masera is going to be Team Soul and Soul Honors. But there it goes, is going to be a good push over there for onto Loop Esports from team well, Zebra Master, exactly, but only the 2 of the players are remaining. What is going to happen is a Loop Esports, well, Loop Esports survive. Okay, 3 of the players are surviving, not too my bad, but definitely there it goes. The ratio is definitely going to, be broken down into 2 very, very easily. Okay, that's a shotgun, but there it goes. A good, not so good start over there for Zebra Masters. All the 3 players from Loop Esports are still surviving, but Zebra Masters have lost one of the players that is going to be Alpha. Solo has been knocked out as well. Talking about the different players, and well, it's going to be the end over here for Team Zebra Masters. Not what I actually expected, but yeah, but hashtag 16 with just 2 finish points. Team Zebra Masters, they have been eliminated, but the battle is not yet over. It's going to be Team MANDRAKES Esports versus Loop, and that goes an awesome grind over here, and it's going to be one knock for Team Loops. And wait a minute, Team Loops have been eliminated via Team MANDRAKES Esports as well. With well, they have been eliminated at hashtag 15 with 3 elimination points. But indeed, it was a good third party coming up from Team MANDRAKES Esports, and well. Team GZ, they're also quite way too closer to Team Mandrake, but definitely, they are not going to go for a fourth party. They are just worried about trying to get into the circle, but there it goes with the Golden Mirado. Team Mandrake Esports now will jump directly to the circle.
See, at this point, I mean, having that advantage of the circle or gaining those points is actually going to be a little bit more difficult for these teams. But yeah, GZM Esports definitely trying their level to rotate, maybe build up that meta that is required at this point. 14 teams, 54 players are surviving after the eliminations of Loops Esports and Zebra Masters. There is a huge opening created for all the other teams to actually gain that pace, all the other teams to actually gain those points in their favor. But apart from that, Flamingo Esports also coming up with a close quarter. They could actually tag out another team that is there. That is going to be Team Smoke Esports, Smoke Gaming to be precise, which is rotating for now. So yes, there could be a rotational clash coming in. There could be a fight coming in at that point. But GZM Esports finds one from Team MANDRAKES Esports, and with that, I believe another set of amazing openings is going to get created. That's an amazing eye opener for the particular team which is fighting, and that's the MANDRAKES Esports, which is now having a lot of trouble. Another set of nade going in. This definitely can impact quite a bit. Survival is something I'm actually worried about for the team.
Well, exactly. It's a thing, to be considering upon. It's a thing to be looking on to. Team Mandrake Esports. Can they survive further into this particular match, or else they're going to be eliminated? Team GZM, well, they are, at quite good location, but so is, Team Mandrake Esports. Talking about Nicholas over here. He's the solo guy at this particular location. His team, I have no idea where J-Hose is, right now, but definitely there it goes. Nicholas has been spotted. He has been tagged off as well, but on the other side, Team Alpha 7, they are on the way of elimination. I have no idea what is the strategies from Team Alpha 7, but definitely whatever it is, they need to bump it up, ramp it up and boost it up, because definitely it's not working out that easily for them. And meanwhile, Team Smoke Esports has a lot of advantages onto themselves. They are definitely going to push and grab that secure that finish points into the backpacks right now. But the next circle is about to shrink as well. There it goes, Team Alpha 7. They are pushing quite a bit aggressively, but I don't think that's going to be working. Well, I have no idea whether that will be working or not, but the Team Flamingo Esports, they are also right next to them. But there it goes. J-Hose comes into the action, makes sure that his team survives and knocks out one player from Team GZM at the regions of San Martin. But Alpha 7 loses one of the players by Team Flamingo Esports, and well, there it goes. A Toiko with one beautiful, shot indeed, but it's going to be Gigante, like, who manages to, grab that finish point into the accounts. But there it goes. The zone is about to shrink with a time span of less than 6 seconds, and Team Alpha 7 once again at not so good location. And well, there it goes. Well, what is happening? Just look at the Killfield Raider.
But the kill feed, apart from that, look at the zone, man. It's an interesting zone coming in indeed. There are a lot of teams which have to rotate to the southern areas. But yes, if we talk about the takedowns, Alpha 7 Esports is now suffering with a lot of blood loss. I believe the takedowns could be coming in for them. But Flamingo Esports, they are just trying to pin them down, not willing them to surpass any other angle or eventually survive. But look at those shots. That's definitely something I'm actually worried about. Alpha 7's player 6 there. Oh, a beautiful spottation indeed coming from the corner. A Gigante gets taken on. What a spray. Alpha 7 is finally showcasing their talent, finally showcasing their aggression. This is the first strike that could come in for the guys, but look at that. Retaliation fire is also there. Player 6's SP is also not looking that good. Alpha 7 Esports, they might be going down soon, but before that, they will be able to take 1 or 2 down from the Flamingo Esports. Seems like that, and yes, exactly that's what the thing is. Vitex is actually going to finish him off, and finally, this is the first opening for Team Alpha 7 Esports after losing one good player. They now are finally gaining those finishes. Stage number 3, or should I say the play zone number 3, is actually going to shrink down now. 673 is the right amount of distance that they have actually to travel. Maybe be in the zone. Smoke Ranger on the other corner also pops out some good shots on Team EYC Gaming. Although he was unsuccessful in it, but definitely was able to actually retrieve his position. Apart from that, PRK, the Brazilian killers, trying to fight back. Rise Esports, is one good member has been taken down. Seems like that this won't be a fruitful match for Rise Esports at all.
Well, let's see what happens. Like whether we still don't know, like what is going to be the situations over there for them. But definitely, it's going to be a better troublesome situations. Peak has been already eliminated. Brazilian killers, they have managed to secure one single finish point that without eliminations. It's a good thing for them. It's going to be definitely advantageous situation for them. But there it goes. What was that? I thought like that guy is almost knocked out, but well. Talking about the knocking off, Brazilian killers are losing out one of the players right now. It's going to be the Brazilian killers have lost two of the players. Like one player has been eliminated, one player has been knocked off. One more player coming into the action right now, but he's been quite eliminated as well. There it goes, Team Brazilian Esports. Now they are on the verge of elimination, and yep, exactly. Team Brazilian Esports gets completely eliminated from this particular match at hashtag 14 with just a single one elimination point. The fake was the fun and solo player that has been eliminated, but there it goes. Another team influence coming, jumping into the action, coming into the influence of the aggressiveness and jumping on Team Rise Esports. Well, Rise Esports has already initiated the revival. The revival has been successful. They are going for the fallback, but just look at that face of Team Rise Esports, of the influence cabin. The way they aggressively pushed onto one Team Rise Esports has fallen apart. Only one solo player that is going to Mufasa is surviving right now. I don't think so they can stand for a much longer duration. Yup, that's going to be a better option. That is going to be just get off this position, get onto a good new location, and just hold on to the locations and avoid fights, so that you can at least grab those pre-positional points that you want for your team. And you never know, like using some third party skills, you can definitely come up with 2 to 3 more finished points.
That could be the case. That could be the case indeed. I'm actually totally going to agree with you at this point. But look at the zone shift. But apart from that, there is a shot coming in from EYC's corner. They've got this 12k. As 12k with a mini 14, what kind of approach is this? That's a totally different approach that we usually see in the game. But there we go. Some nades going in. Smoky Esports is actually going to get smoked soon enough. Oh, that nade was a little bit on point. But after that, the spray comes in with the mini 14 tap shots. Finally gets a knockout of Meteors. And just like that, EYC is once again going to survive. Rise Esports, the last one standing from his particular team, is actually going to be in a lot of trouble. His survival is going to be on stakes, but yeah, there is a push. There is a push. That push can change a lot of things. Storm Gaming is a team that we are actually trying to witness, but look at that. Elanzin already tries to fall back. He's successful in it. Now the rotation for EYC should be there, so that EYC could be successfully be able to, I guess, survive and stuff like that. But yeah, the trade fire is coming in. There are some shots coming in. It will be really very difficult for Adrian to survive. If he gets spotted, the shots are going to be there. Exactly, the shots are there. He's not going to survive. Yes, definitely the knockout is there. And with that, that guy who was trying to pin down everybody trying to be in the zone is now pinned down himself. Adrian, the knockout is here. The finish could be coming in soon. Apart from that, if we talk about Storms Pereira, a beautiful guy indeed. A decisive performance is waited from this particular guy. Fourth zone is going to get compromised soon enough, but before that, there are some more shots coming on. Team Smoke Gaming was successful in just trying to pinning them down, but eventually the kill has been stolen by Team Smoke Gaming. There is Mufasa on the other corner, finally bags out the guy from Team Influence came in, and after that, Influence came in. Spreadrel, the assaulter of that particular team, was able to bag out Rise's Mufasa, and with that, Rise Esports in this particular matchup with only 88 points is going to get wiped out.
Well, exactly. We were quite expecting a lot from Team Rise Esports, but in this battle, it was quite, this match turned out to be quite unlucky for them. But there it goes, Smoky Esports coming up, a bit closer to the other teams, and there it goes. Team Smoke has been eliminated as well at hashtag 12 with the 4 elimination points. That's going to be a sad news over here for all the Smoky Esports fan, but definitely Team EYC. They are jumping up the gameplay. Like they have already, managed to secure 4 finishes, but at what cost? 4 finishes at the cost of 3 players. That's not a good trade. Either only one player. Diago is still surviving. Let's hope that he does put some actions into his skills and make this game work out for his team. Grab some good positional points as well as multiple frag points for the team, and extract as many points as he can. But definitely Hornet Souls, all the 4 players that are remaining have secured none of the finishes, but definitely they will be securing. They have the snipers, they have the DMRs, they have the assault rifles for the close combats as well. So definitely team Hornet Souls are completely ready for all the situations that they can. But there it goes, Rafina over here with the Knight here trying to grab a good shot indeed. But just a look at that kill fade. Team Influence coming, trying to grab much more finishes as they can. out of the backpacks right now. Well, they are, grabbing good positions, good frag points as well. They have managed to secure 5 eliminations in this particular match, but the circle is about to strike. The next circle is about to jump in. First team is going to be inside the circle. What is going to be the situation as Radis over here? And there it goes. Only 3 teams are currently inside the circle. It's going to be XTEAM, Flamingo, and Honest Souls. But Team Alpha 7 gets eliminated at hashtag 11 with just one single elimination point. That is 1 point only from this particular match. That's keeping them on the third chart for sure. I have no idea like what Alpha 7 is doing, but I had read that this is not their actual lineup playing up. So let's see what happens like when that happens. But definitely Team Alpha 7 needs to seriously ramp up the gameplay, or else they are going to be at the very top position.
Definitely, it is a match where Alpha 7 Esports has to actually gain a lot of points, but eventually they are unsuccessful at it. Dark, Jose, or should I say MANDRAKES Esports, the last one standing, is also trying to rotate, figure out a beautiful vicinity from which they can fight back. MIRAMAR Esports is actually one of those teams which is just trying their level best to survive and eventually come up with some good blows. But apart from that, Flamingo Esports is Stoico. The only hope of this particular team's perspective is going to be there that they can survive and maybe pull through some good points. Although it won't be that easy, to be honest, but Federal, Kawaski, Lil Boy, Dino are the 3-4 members which are still surviving, which are still looking at the fight, looking at the angles decisively. They have got 6 amazing finishes already. They're in the top 9 teams. MANDRAKES Esports with that also gets eliminated. Jose was the last one standing. Toiko also gets taken down. That means 1 more elimination for the team, 1 more elimination for the lobby. It's Flamingo Esports going down to the rest. But look at that. Storms Pereira gets confirmed by Honored Souls member. But EYC is the guy who is still surviving. EYC's Diego, if I'm not wrong, is the last one standing. But he will be getting spotted soon enough by Honored Soul if he is going to remain at the same instance position.
Well, definitely Team Honor Souls, they are pushing, and just look at that kill field, like the way they are extracting and knocking out the different teams and players. But Team GZM also had a good location. Talent is just right next to them, so can Talent utilize this talent in this particular match as well, or else not? Let's see. But Team Stop Gaming, they have been eliminated at hashtag 8 with just 2 elimination points. But Rafina with us awesome K98 sniper skills has managed to knock out 1 player. Will he be able to extract that as a finish point, or else not? Will he be able to secure that finish point? Let's see. But currently Black Dragons Talent just holding on to his positions, not rebelling out to the enemy teams and players. But definitely is 2 free frags right next to him. But let's see, we have already seen multiple players talking out in 1v2, 1v3 or 2v1 situations. But there it goes. CYC gets eliminated at hashtag 7 as well with 5 eliminations. Talent has managed to secure 1 finish point, and another is just right out of the way. But on its Souls, they have already heard of the shots. They are coming into the actions. But wait a minute, it's going to be another team that jumps into the action, and Team Black Dragons has been quite unfortunately been eliminated at hashtag 6 with 1 solo point from Talent. Well, Talent crying out is everything, like he has into his hands right now, but definitely the luck is not seeming to be onto his side. But there it goes. Last 5 teams, 17 players.
Luck. That's not a big, I believe, factor that is actually going to play a role in this particular matchup. I believe the strategies and the aggressions are something which is going to work out quite a bit. Team X is one of those teams which has got that open space to eventually compute and get the closure of that buffer that is there between Rise Esports and XTEAM in the leaderboard. This is the moment where they should come back, where they should eventually have that stronghold in the game. It's match number 8. The map is Miramar, if you guys can see that. GZM Esports Frog is actually going to be another beautiful guy who's actually trying to rotate. But look at that. 1 more rotation, 1 more key factor, 1 more hard shift. It's not a hard shift to be precise, it's a central shift to be honest, but eventually a lot of teams which were holding the edges, which thought that the zone might be coming in our favor, is not going to be happy about the fact that the zone is not even going to be there close to them. But apart from that, we are still going to wait for a bit more longer to just see those finishes, to just see those takedowns coming in. There are 2 or 3 teams, okay, there are 4 teams to be precise which have got the 4-man power. That's absolutely amazing. But there is just a single guy of GZM Esports which is just barely holding on to his breath. I believe he can be finished off quite early, but Honored Souls, there is VIVO. They have got the edges, they have got that kind of area from which they can repay or repent the particular fight. Oh yeah, exactly, that's what happened. Pubg gets finished off, and just like that, GZM Esports is also shut down. But there is a trade fire with that, and that is coming from Team Sci-Fi Esports. Obscure was the guy who was able to find 1. Pubg on the other corner also gets taken by his Team Honored Souls member. With this, there are rotations coming in, but a beautiful knockout indeed coming from Igor. What a knockout. What a beautiful trade fire. Otherwise, Papa Kill would have been finished off, but the trade fire that comes from Higo's corner is going to give the second chance, or the revival chance to be precise, for the team known as XTEAM.
Well, exactly. X team with a good amount of players still having, in their side right now. They have a bit of player advantage as well. Talking about Team Influence Gaming, they also have all four of the players. Honored Souls with four players as well. But what is actually happening? Honored Souls and Team Influence coming jumping into the action right exactly at the same point of time. And Team X, well, within a fraction of seconds, they have seen losing out all the team members that they had and all the advantages of the winning they had into the pockets. Just getting crushed off. Renan is now being that still surviving the solo player from the particular team. But that's a very very sad news. I was just about to say that they had the chance, they had the chance of winning this particular match. But just look what happened. Like it wasn't even it was just like flashing my eyes and seeing that the team has been eliminated. But definitely still one more of the players remaining. So definitely they can jump up the eliminations quite a few of times. But talking about Team Honor Souls, they are coming out of the action. It's going to be Sci-Fi Esports right and opposite to them. Let's see what happens. But Team is going to be the one eliminating, getting eliminated right now. But there it goes. Team Honor Souls. I don't know like what has happened to this particular team, but definitely in this match they are the one completely into the momentum, completely into the action, completely into the pace, and have managed to secure 7 awesome frags into their pockets, into the backpacks, you can say. But there it goes. Team Influence Capping, they are also pushing. Team X Team has been eliminated at #4 with full elimination points. Honored Souls will get some additional points from Team Influence coming as well.
Number of finishes is never going to stop at this point. And look at that outside the play zone. Team Honor Souls is actually getting confirmed. There are quite a few players of Team Honor Souls which are getting punished outside the play zone. Sci-Fi Esports is having that kind of trio, which will maybe implicate the fights. Influence Gaming having the highest amount of manpower can actually change the pace of the game, and they are actually having the zone advantage as well. So that's an added bonus for the team. They just have to maintain their legacy. They just have to maintain their kind of stronghold. But there could be a double-sided flank coming in onto them. But before that, Honor Soul is the team which is actually having a lot of repercussions at this point. They are actually having a lot of damage on their faces. Seems like that Influence Gaming is pretty much keen on having this winner chicken, and if they're able to do so, it will be absolutely a fruitful one, and eventually the jump is going to be awesome. Federal on the other corner finds one from Team Sci-Fi Esports. The knockout is there. This knockout can actually change the tide of the game, and it's already doing that. But the mollies coming from Team Sci-Fi Esports definitely is looking good. They're trying to make that opening so that they can rotate, so that they can actually pull through the points. But it won't be that easy because Influence CHEMIN is a team which is already gatekeeping them, which is already waiting for the right opportunity to strike on. And I believe they will be fruitful in it because the way they are holding, the way they are actually capsizing on this particular game, it can be quite credible. Look at that. They're just trying to wait. They're just eager on actually punching it down, having those finishes in their favor. Well, definitely it won't be that easy. But yes, apart from that, I guess all we can do for now is just wait, wait, and wait. But look at that. 9 finishes already done from Influence Gaming. But on nade, a single nade finds 2 from Team Sci-Fi Esports. It's just the nade, and Honor Soul are now on the contrary side. They are actually getting a lot of damage. Rato Boy on the other corner finds 1. He is actually going to get the beautiful knockout that was required. But apart from that, the trade fire is also coming in. Spots 1 once again. Sci-Fi Esports' last member standing is surviving. But yes, Sci-Fi Esports gets confirmed. So Rato Boy on the other corner manages to take 1 down. But it won't be fruitful because he is about to repatch his teammate or maybe heal himself. But look at that. Rato Boy gets spotted. Now he's going to get on a job for sure. I believe in that. And yes, exactly with that, the beautiful Phenomena Gunner comes in. The last buy was confirmed with the UMP45. Although there was a guy coming from Influence Gaming which was having the Orm in his hand, was about to do that beautiful one-shot kill. It was not fruitful, it was not successful to be honest. And the game is done. Phenomena Chicken of match number 3, or should I say match number 8 of the week number 2 of PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims presented by Ruthless Esports, where the reason is Brazil, is going to be in the hands of Team Influence Gaming.
Well, exactly. What a beautiful gameplay this team has actually portrayed out. I thought for a moment that Team Honor Souls could be the one grabbing the winner chicken dinner, but the tables turned out so quickly, and Influence came and just took all the benefits that they could from from that particular point. And well, there it goes. The results are right before our eyes. 10 placement points, 13 elimination points, 23 freaking points from one individual match, and that's an absolutely dominant performance over there. That too, like with such a beautiful gameplay. Talking about Federal with 3 eliminations, so Sersky with the 4 eliminations, is a little boy with 4 eliminations as well, and Dadino with the 2 eliminations. So that a total equivalence of a beautiful number of frags as well. And the way they, portrayed out, the way they put out the gameplays was absolutely commendable. That was, that they took out all the luck, like as we were talking about, luck, and it was indeed a way where, it was just at the very right moment. They were just, eagerly waiting. They were like waiting out with a lot of patience that, okay, now it's not the time, now it's not the time. And once they saw the door, once they saw the opportunity, they definitely jumped onto the door, they broke the door and they went apart. And there it goes. That was absolutely indeed a beautiful one to have a look at. And well, let's move on further.
Moving on further, we'll talk about the teams to watch. First of all, it's going to be Influence Gaming, which has crossed over close to like 11 kilometers of the distance while rotating. Dribbles used were 27, nades 18, smokes 25 minutes 52 is going to be the full score time. And one thing is there from yesterday's meta to today's meta, it seems like that the matches are actually looking elongated. Reason being the teams are actually surviving a bit more in the last few circles. They're actually looking a bit more on the survival-based gameplay to be precise. So that's the case. On its soul on the other corner backs out the 8 nades and 9 smoke usage. Meanwhile, if we talk about XTEAM, they had 8 nades and 10 smokes in their favor that they used. For travel distance coming from GZM Esports, that was 10,148 meter. Although when it comes to the nades and smoke, it was pretty much consistent. That was 3-3 each. MVP is going to be from Team Honor Soul. That is going to be Arturzin. That is the guy which was able to get 2 finishes. And apart from that, the damage was off 739. The throwables used were 3. And if we talk about the assists, that was 2.
Well, exactly. These were the, the details, or you can say that statistics of this particular MVP. But moving on further, we will definitely have a look at other things as well. That is going to be the match ranking. At first, it's going to be Team Influence Gaming with 23 total points. On second, it's going to be Honored Souls. Just a look at the difference between the team securing on #1 and #2, but on #3 is going to be XTEAM with 8 points. On 4, it's going to be GZM Esports with 7 points, Sci-Fi with 7 as well, EYC with 6, Smoke Esports with 4, Mandrakes with 4, Loops with 3, Rise Esports with just 3 points. That's definitely, a downside to their, legacy with them. But definitely Stop Gaming with 3 as well, Black Dragons with 3, Zebra Masters with 2, Brazilian Killers, Alpha 7 Esports and Flamingo Esports with 1 point each. That's definitely, the match ranking of this particular match, of the last match that we have witnessed. But Team Rise Esports definitely not a result what actually we were all expecting, but Team Influence Gaming nailed the match, crushed out all the enemy teams and players, and jumped onto a very, very top. But talking the bad summary, it's going to be Sersky with the highest number of eliminations, that is going to be 4. Talking about Satarzin with the highest damage, that is going to be 739. Talking about assists, is going to be 5 from Sersky as well. Dark, talking about J-Hos, it's going to be the highest ceiling talent, that's that to around 601, and highest knock, it's once again from Soul Satarzin with 5 knocks. Just imagine, like, if he had got that many finishes, definitely he would have grabbed that as eliminations, as well as the team's total points would have been jumped up as well. The total eliminations would have jumped as well. But match stats, Raider, just take us through it.
Well, in the terms of match stats, if we talk about the whole situation, I guess we can clearly state that the advantage was there in terms of the teams. 58 total eliminations were there. Total healing, if we talk about that was pretty much close to 9,000 point marker. 64 knockouts were there. 185 throwables were used. 2 headshot alerted. 9 headshots were appointed. 21 rescues, and with that, the longest elimination for the day, I believe when it comes to the comparison, is actually going to be in the hands of Souls Ninho. 359 is actually going to be the longest distance that this guy was actually able to come with the eliminations with. Apart from that, if we talk about the overall ranking, the Rise Esports is going to be on top with 88 amazing points, and exactly Influence Gaming is now able to narrow the gap between these two giants. And finally, there is a buffer of 14 points, just 14 points, I believe, which can be compensated in the next few stages. So looking forward to see what happens and what kind of impact these guys will be able to actually come up with. But apart from that, yes, the aggression is there. Yes, the finishes are actually something which is going to be there. But on the back end, EYC Gaming, 44 points, Sci-Fi Esports, 37 points. Let's talk about the second page. Let's talk about the page where the fights were so on point. Corinthians, 36 points. Honored Soul with 27. Loops Esports, same points for them. Zebra Masters, also 27 points. Knife and Skull with 26. Black Dragons with 25 points. INCO Gaming with 24. GZM Esports with 22 points.
Well, exactly. GZM was 22 points, but let's move on to the last chart of today. Not today, like of the overall rank. That is going to be Brazilian Killers at hashtag 17 with 14 points. Smoky Esports at hashtag 18 with 14 points as well. Stop Gaming with 11 points and Alpha 7 Esports with just 3 points. That's definitely a bare minimum over there. But talking about the rest of the teams, definitely that's going to be a big jump. Team Rise Esports, I guess they are still having one single match to go. But before having a look at that point, let's go on to the short break and see after the break with the next match.
Well, indeed, guys, after a short break, indeed, we are back on the desk. My name is Raider, along with me is Everted. The next match is about to get started, which is going to be the match number 9 out of the whole 15 matches that we are going to witness in the week number 2. Remember, guys, the prize pool is of $300 overall in the whole pro scrims of the Brazil. We had a prize pool of $900. We had 20 teams, which are divided in 5 groups, where every group is going to get consisted with 4 teams, I believe, and every team is going to get per day 4 matches to play. And in order to actually encompass all these other teams, I guess we have 5 matches per day. So yes, definitely the number of matches, the number of points, number of retaliations are something which is going to be quite amazing. But I'm excited to see what happens in the match number 4 for the day number 2 of week number 2, to be honest. This is the day of comeback, and we have seen quite a few teams doing that comeback of type of stuff. Rise Esports is one of those teams which is maintaining their consistency, but apart from that, Influence Gaming, after having a beautiful bomber in this particular previous game, they are definitely pretty much close to Team Rise Esports. They have to fetch out the last 14 points so that they can equalize it. Let's see, will they be able to do so in the map of ERANGEL?
Well, exactly. That's the thing, to be looked on to. We will have a look, but the next match is going to be the map of ERANGEL, as we can see onto the schedule as well. The 3 matches have already been, completed out. The first one of today goes into the accounts of Team Predator. The second one goes into the hands of Team Rise Esports. The third goes to Influence CHEMIN, but the fourth one is still a mystery, and same goes for the fifth. Both the matches are left, but the fourth match of today, that is going to the map of ERANGEL, is just about to start up. And well, let's have a look. Like West team, gets the chance to grab the winner chicken of this particular match. But audience, what is your opinion? What is your predictions? Like West team is, according to you, is going to grab that winner chicken. And make sure to spam out your team name. Make sure to share up and motivate your team so that they can perform an exceptional game plan, grab those beautiful titles. But the last 40 seconds before we jump into the game, what do you think? Like where the flight path could be favoring? Which regions could the flight path be favoring, and where the first circle could be formed?
Tough question, man. Tough question. But let's see where the flight path is going to be there. For my prediction, I believe it could be on those angles where the fights are actually going to be there. It could be a diagonal flight path. I would love to see a diagonal flight path coming in. But let's see what happens for now. Let's see what kind of rotations these teams are actually going to cut up, and what kind of elimination that we are actually going to witness is the bigger question for now. It seems like that rotations are something which is going to just take a lot of time. Apart from that, yes, finishes are actually going to be there. But just in 5 seconds, we are now going to move on to another beautiful matchup, and that's going to be a credible fight which is upon us. What is your hopes, guys, and insights, do let us know. But look at the flight path. Well, it is starting from Salber, it is going towards like military base. So definitely a beautiful flight path indeed. From Salber to areas like Yasnaya Poliana, to areas like Rozhok, school aparts, Pochinki, military base. Definitely a lot of areas are there where the fights can be there. Remember guys, Sosnovka Island is this area where we would love to see a zone coming in. Although it won't be that easy, but definitely that's what we have to witness.
Well, definitely we need to have a look on like what is going to happen in this particular match. Right now, the players are about to dispatch from the plane. They are making quite few strategies, like where they can jump on, where they can land in, and like what could be that the route for this particular match, like where the IGLs are working on the zone predictions, like where the circle could be leading them up to, and what could be the situations, and making the team know about the situations and scenarios that they could be facing during the very ending series of the match. But let's see what's going to happen, which are the teams that are going to land onto the regions of Sosnovka Military Base Island. But it's going to be a bigger picture, like the bigger and the first question is going to be where the circle is about to be formed, which is going to be the region is going to be the same as last time, that is going to be favoring the regions of center, Pochinki and all, or else, yeah, it's the exact same circle, Raider. Exactly, it is the same circle that we had witnessed in the last ERANGEL. And just imagine this match goes again the same as we had seen in the very second match, like the same, circle shift and the same team winning. What would your reaction be?
It would be absolutely amazing to see if that actually happens, but I really doubt that it is going to happen, because now if the circle is same, I believe the teams are going to predict what will happen and how they will be able to change the game, to be honest. So let's see what happens. Rise Esports, Mufasa once again wants to rotate, once again wants to figure out that angle that is going to be very on point, that is going to be very important, to be honest. And he's just trying his level best to actually go for those fights and eventually learn where the teams could be and how far their fights actually going to be there. But Zabra Master, another beautiful team, trying to rotate, trying to figure out locations from which they can fight back. Although it won't be that easy, to be honest. But yes, that's what they have to live up to. They have to figure out those fights. Zebra Master is still waiting for those utilities, those loots, which are going to be very important, to be honest.
Well, exactly. Like just to look, the mostly every individual team, they're completely focusing on the loot phase right now. They are, not that bothered up to catching up to the different teams and players. But talking about to see God, well, he's quite playing into the FPP mode rather than the TP mode, and majority of the teams and okay, well, quite few of the players are preferring that for the for the loot phase right now. But yeah, but I'm assuming that near Malta, just right next to Team Flamingo Esports, there's one another team which is still looting right now. But talking about Team UIC Gaming, well, one player from Team UIC Gaming, that is going to be McRillan, is at a different location, that is going to be the regions of southern Georgia Bull. And okay, well, the whole team has now arrived at this particular location, because just look at the number of compounds, the number of buildings that this region has. That means that more the number of buildings, the more the amount of loot that they are going to grab. And well, exactly, two players at the Georgia Bull containers, and the remaining two players at the Georgia Bull Southern City, definitely making out a good and a great amount of loot. But talking about Team Loops, now playing a very very safe game, and that at a very large picture, that is a very large area, that is going to be the military base island. That's the only team which is currently present over here. But just look at the separation of team predators. One player is quite too far, one player is holding at the ferry pass, and two players at Prepos. That's a way too quite long separation. But if Team Honored Souls pushes on to Red W, he is being eliminated for sure, or else he's getting multiple finishes into his backpack.
That would be the possible situation. Let's see how far they will be able to stretch out for now. The finishes are something I'm just waiting for, but it seems like that it is not going to come in that easily, to be precise. Yes, the players are waiting. They are trying to figure out those angles from which they can fight back. They're actually going to have those utilities, which is going to be very important as far as the circle and the fights are actually concerned. But still, for now, all we can do is just wait. All we can do is just retaliate or just talk about the fact that the fights are actually going to be there. But let's see what happens.
That we need to have a look onto that point as well. But
Mhm.
16 teams and 64 players are remaining. Like not even one single player has been eliminated yet, and not a single fight has been initiated yet. So definitely all the teams and players, they are quite chilled at this particular moment. I would like to say, no one is like really bothered up to have a look whether any other team is present at
Right.
the nearby or not. All the teams are just prioritizing the loot right now, because even they know that like starting up with the fight at this stage is just going to make a loss into their pockets as well. So you have
Mhm.
quite to worry about the things when you have already a lot of things onto your plate. So definitely they would be focusing onto the loots, they would be prioritizing the circles and zones, and worry about the fights during the very last stages. They would be worrying about the elimination points at the very big ending. But definitely eliminations are a thing to be looked on to, as well as they are the one of the most important aspects of grabbing the finish points. But talking about Team INCO Gaming, I am assuming that they have already completed out their you know loot phase. They are ready for the battle, and they are going for the fights. They are going for the rotations. They are searching out for the enemy teams that definitely will be fighting, definitely will be involved with themselves into the fights, so that they can grab few positional points, elimination points.
I would agree on that point, but seems like that nobody is focused on the finishes. But oh,
Oh,
Nino
what?
himself, he knocked himself with the nade. That is actually going to be a little bit more sad. I would love to see what is happening at that point. But Team Honored Soul, I guess that was just all fun and game, I believe. He was trying to knock out his teammate, seems like that. He gets knocked out with the nade himself. But the tower that is pretty much close to that particular area where the military base zone comes in, or military base bridge also comes in, is actually going to be here at the question. They are trying to loot the tower. Nobody is there in the close quarter, but there is a knockout coming from Team Storm Gaming to Zebra Masters. That's absolutely amazing. Now they're actually going to get the gliders so that they can rotate and eventually figure out where they can rotate, where they can uh, just go ahead and take the fights in. Zebra Masters are also losing one player. That means the knockout is there, I mean. And Storm Gaming is also actually going to get a knockout in their faces. Zebra Masters have to actually rake up that point, which is going to be very important. But Storm's Elysian is actually over there trying to finish him off. He was able to finish off. But Souls once again gets a fall damage. What is happening at that point? Solotov gets finished off. The first blood is going to be there from Storm's Elysian's corner. Nade getting cooked up. Oh, this is going to be a credible one. The nade goes in but fails to connect anybody. And with that, another beautiful knockout comes in. It's a flaming AKM indeed. With that, the casualties are starting off. It's Storm Gaming which is going to have the advantage, but Team Predators now popping out with Team Honored Soul.
Well, what is actually happening, I have no idea, but definitely it's going to be a better personal situation for the teams and players. Talking about Zebra Masters, that they have lost two of the players. Well, this was not the start that I was imagining for this particular team. I was thinking that they are coming up with a better gameplay. Last match was quite a bit good over there for them, but this match would have been a much better. That was my like opinion out of that. But well, it turned out to be completely different. They I have no idea like what happened, but definitely they have lost of the players. That's the two of the players are remaining, and they are also quite holding on to the locations. But there it goes. TH, what a big rookie mistake, and well, Rafa got a clear shot. He took it, and definitely that's going to be free positional points. TS didn't even had any idea like where he got shot from, and well, he was still at that particular location. I don't know like whether he was AFK or else he had no idea. But definitely it was great thing indeed for Team Zebra Masters. Two of the players remaining, they are trying to extract as many points as they can. They have managed to secure one elimination points, but Team Knife and Skull have lost a TH, one of the good players, and well, not so good start. But definitely Zebra Masters also trying to hold on to the locations right now. The zone is about to strike. The next circle is about to be formed right shortly, and well, let's see what happens where the circle goes. Whether it's going to be a soft shift, eastern shift, western shift, southern. But definitely Team Predators versus Team Loops can be about to be initiated. And talking about the circle, well, it's going to be quite smooth shift over there.
Indeed, the circle is actually going to be on point, and I would love to see where the circle is going to retaliate and what kind of implications the circle is going to bring to the table. Although it won't be that easy, to be honest, to actually go with the fights, but look at that. What a beautiful circle indeed coming in. Teams now have to capsize, teams now have to figure out the angle that they want to rotate with. But apart from that, there is a clash coming in. Oh, Storm's not gets taken down. INCO Gaming is also trying their level best to survive a bit more, take those points in their favor. But is it that easy? That's a big question, guys. Let us know about that particular fight. I really doubt that it's going to be an easy approach. But look at the takedowns. They are actually going to get followed up. Rise Esports trying to rotate with the Lamborghinis and the buggies that are there. But let's see what they can actually do.
Well, exactly. Let's see what they can do. Talking about Team INCO Gaming, they're on to good rotations right now. The next circle is about to be, hopping right before our eyes very, very shortly as well. Team INCO Gaming, what one single point? Well, they are where what is going to be the, destination for them right now? That's going to be a thing that I want to have a look on to, but definitely on a soul's way to closer to Team Flamingo Esports are spotted. Going for the shots, going for the connection. There it goes. The connections have been secured, but definitely the connection, the shots have been, connected, but definitely no knockouts have been, they have not been able to manage to grab any knockouts right now. But just to look at that HP, just to look at that vehicle damage, it's massive. They are forced to, they will be forced to, send out the vehicles. If Team Honor Souls would have been, going for the chase, then they could have managed to, grab at least 1 to 2 points, or else they could have lost all the players. But Zebra Masters coming up with another frag with frag grenades, managed to knock out Trash and eliminate. Can they manage to eliminate out? That's going to be a thing to look at. But Team Zebra Masters definitely, jumping up into the game, pushing up the level of gameplay, and then it goes 2 players eliminated out the whole team. Well. Team Knife and Skull has been eliminated at half 16 with 0 elimination points. Well, what has happened to Team Zebra Masters? Initially losing out 2 players and then extracting multiple finishers and players from the enemy teams and jumping them directly into their accounts. Well, this is something a strange, mysterious, strategies that they have been following. But definitely, if it's working out, that's working out, and that's a good sign for you.
Indeed, it is, no doubt on that. Would love to see what happens right now, and what kind of implications these guys are actually going to bring to the table. But look at that. It's match number 9. The map is ERANGEL, if you guys remember. There is just one more match after this one, where we'll get to see what happens in the map of Miramar. But before that, one team which has been eliminated is going to be Knife and Skull. Apart from that, there are quite a few teams which are in the close quarters, but they are not taking up the fight. They're not getting finished job. For example, if we talk about Brazilian, because pretty close to Team Corinthians, but they are not in a fight for now. They are just waiting for the right opportunity. They're just waiting for those right picks that can actually change the pace of the game. But apart from that, seems like that everything is actually going to be on the passive note. Fights are something which I'm actually worried about, but then we have to wait a little bit longer to just see what happens eventually in this particular battle. But the airdrop gets taken down by the EYC's gaming's player, which is known as Adrian. He has got the airdrop advantage, which is definitely going to give his equation a bump when it comes to the loot, when it comes to the fights and stuff like that. So let's see how far they will be able to push forward.
Well, exactly. Let's see what happens right now. But just a look at that, the circle has shifted once again, and oh my God, just a look at that circle, Raider. Well, the island is exactly right at the center of the circle, and it's going to be in a bit troublesome situations because the players, there's a massive number of players surviving. The population is too high compared to the density of the circle and the radius of the circle, and the breathing space is definitely going to be a lot way less compared to what it was earlier. The fights are prominent. Definitely, it's going to be a lot of chaotic situations arising in this particular battle right now. Team EYC Gaming, they have spotted INCO Gaming. The shots are being collected, but the damage aren't happening over there. But EYC Gaming, well, Guardian tried his level best, but definitely wasn't able to manage to knock any players out. But loops, there it goes, crushing out Alpha 7, and Alpha 7 once again losing out the players. This is not looking like a good thing over here for Alpha 7 as well. But let's see what happens. But meanwhile, Team INCO, well, I thought that they were going for a good rotation, like it was a good start over there for them. But Loop Esports, I have no idea like what happened. But well, as I was appreciating the team lost one more of their player, and still 3 players are remaining. Let's see what happens. Like with the Cartesian can be revived or else not. I don't think so. That's going to be happening. And there it goes, directly jumping onto that player, and he has been completely eliminated by Team Loop. Well, that was a close call.
Indeed, it was. They were about to get finished off, and on the other corner, they have secured 2 amazing finishes. How far they will be able to go is a bigger question for now. Look at that. They're just trying their level best to wait around, but INCO. That's a team everybody was worried about. Everybody was pretty much keen on watching. EYC completely pushes on them, and EYC is actually going to take the rampage down to the us. I don't think so that INCO is going to survive for now. The members, to be precise, at least, are not going to survive from INCO Gaming corner, and that's it. INCO has completely been shut down, seems like that. And yes, INCO Gaming, with only 2 frags in this particular matchup, are now done and are pretty much in the dust for now. Seems like that this match is going to be a little bit more favorable for Team Psych. EYC Gaming. EYC Gaming on the other corner comes up with a good nade. Oh, 2 members have been taken down. Loops Esports definitely looking strong, but then again, they are falling short of breath. The last man standing from Team Loops Esports is going to be way too far away. Look at that on the church. But some smokes, some beautiful areas, and the rotations could be keen. Mythic on the other corner is also trying to his level best to actually come up with some good nades. His nades are impacting, his damage is coming in, but still the revival is something I'm actually pretty skeptical about. Adrian wants to fall back. Oh, that's a different approach, I believe. Why he's falling back is the question that I want to get an answer for. But the revival should be there. Adrian is going to repatch himself first of all, and then the revival is going to be there. Mythic on the other corner gets spotted. CLO is completely pushing on him. CLO has got the edge approach, which won't be that fruitful, but F7 Esports once again in this particular matchup, without securing even a single point, gets out of equation.
Well, exactly. Let's see what happens right now. The circle is about to string once again, and oh my god, it's rated. Just look at that circle. Like, I have no idea what the circle, like, you know, what the PUBG gods are thinking right now. What are they, you know, taking into considerations? But they are just putting a lot of pressures onto the players. 13 teams and 46 players. That's still a massive number. And the circle, I just even can't imagine, you know, I just can't even imagine what's going to be the situations. The players are going to be eliminated as hell, and definitely this whole area is about to become hell right now, that's for sure. Loop Esports has spotted out the players trying to, you know, secure finishes, but then it goes Flamingo Esports now out of the verge of elimination, and if I'm not wrong, well, they are way too closer. Okay, they still have 2 of the players, but definitely, you know, the players are being eliminated, but the teams and players are getting knocked on too. The gears are being damaged out. The team GZ have also coming into the action. Team Flamingo Esports has lost 1 more of the player. Only 1 solo player is still surviving. But Team Rise, well, all of the 4 players remaining with 89 points in total into the backpacks right now. What can they do? What can they do, you know, in this particular match? That's going to be a big question. Will they able to, you know, complete the 100 points marks milestone in this particular match, or else we need to have a look at the point of view. We need to see, but definitely Team Loop Esports has been eliminated at hashtag 13 with just 2 elimination points, and Team Stop Gaming with 3 of the players surviving and 2 elimination points. Right next to them is going to be Team Sci-Fi, and well, let's see like whether Team Storm will be able to hold on to Team Sci-Fi, or Team Sci-Fi gets inside the circle without any troubles.
Let's see what the speculations are. Oh, a beautiful animation coming up. Team Black Dragons Esports' Sarol gets finished off with a vehicle blow. He won't be able to survive with that blow, but Soul Striker Boy finds one from Team EYC Gaming. That's going to be Diago, who has been taken down to his knees. The survival is something which is going to get implicated, but Brazilian killers are in a buggy, trying to rotate, trying to get as many as Qs that as possible. But it won't be that easy. Look at that. The shots are coming in. Souls, you know, how was he able to reach out to this position is actually something I'm still trying to configure, still trying to figure out. Smokes are there, but apart from that, there are some more sprays coming in, and this is Team EYC, which is about to get shots in their face. But before that, Nino has to repass himself. The smokes that he has cooked up over there is easily going to help him a lot, but Brazilian Killers also gets contested the same way that they were trying to contest the other teams. Team Predators on the other corner also is actually on the backboard. Player 3 and Rin is actually going to be the last 2 members. Look at that. Brazilian Killers, definitely they are getting traded off. It's Corinthians which are also stealing the finishes at this point. But Team Predators, they are definitely waiting for now. They are going to repass themselves, but nothing is going to be fruitful because a nade comes in, and that was Brazilian Killers who were able to put down that nade. And a beautiful knockout indeed coming in. 2 eliminations for Brazilian Killers finally have been finished off, and now is the opportunity for Team SCCP or Corinthians to actually bag out this finish, and they're already pushing towards it. They might be able to gather the finishes that is required at this point, but remember guys, this is the 4 zone. We are looking at the far near circles where the eliminations could be possible. Corinthians is coming up with a great nade. That nade could impact quite a bit. Let's see. Oh, the nade is there. Is it going to pop out? Is it going to find that opening? That's the big question. But no, it was not full. Apart from that, look at the beautiful zone coming in. Nobody is secure at this point. Neither the teams which are there in the Water City nor the teams which are in the northern ridges. Because the next zone, oh, what a zone coming in. The upper ridges areas are going to be very open-ended. The lower ridges areas are going to be very insightful. So I really don't think a lot of teams are going to survive till the 7th zone.
Well, exactly. Talking about that, Team Predators, you know, they are managing to trying to eliminate out the Team SCCP, which is going to be the one, you know, just right next to them. But just look how aggressively the players are, you know, just rotating out the vehicles, and if they manage to, you know, get the side onto the But definitely that's going to be a lot of advantage in the situation for them. The circle is about to be shrinking very, very shortly as well. And the Team Predators, they will be doing everything that they can, and they, should, so that, they can be, grabbing those finish points, elimination points, positional points, as well as that area, because they know multiple teams from the opposite side are going to jump into the action right. One team UIC eliminated hashtag 11 with 7 eliminations. That's a great number as well, and a total accumulating of 51 points. Battle top 10 teams. Here we have the top 10 teams with 28 players still surviving. And if I'm not wrong, Team Rise is still surviving. Definitely that means that there's a chance that Rise Esports can grab much more finishes into this match right now. But talking about the different teams and players at different locations, yep, there it goes. Rise Mufasa securing out few finishes, but Team Zebra Masters, they are getting quite eliminated. Even Team Storm, one player from Team Storm has been eliminated as well. So definitely let's see what happens in this game. But a great grenade indeed. Well, that was way too close for Brata, but just a bit ahead, and Brata could have been easily knocked off. But Team Rise, well, what a great heavy driver we are seeing from Mufasa. Well, that's definitely a one beautiful drive indeed, and he has managed to, run over a player by the vehicle. But there it goes. Team Zebra Masters eliminated at hashtag 10, 3 eliminations.
People are not even getting the chance at this point to just survive and stuff like that. 8 teams and 19 players are surviving. Flamingo Esports also gets shut down. Remember, guys, yesterday they were able to back out a beautiful chicken dinner in the match number 4, but right now in the match number 9 that we are witnessing, things are not looking that easy for them. They are already eliminated. Team Predators on the other corner is also trying to find some good blows, and yes, they were able to do so. Therefore, on the other corner is also not looking that good when it comes to his HP. But Corinthians finally gets shut down by the team which is known as Team Predators. GZM, if I talk about that particular team, finally they are starting to show their colors. They are having 8 amazing finishes. Will they be able to secure the winner in Chicken? That's the big question for now. But there is a guy from Team GZM Esports which is already having the OM. And we all know how brutal this gun can be when it comes to the shot anticipation. But obviously you have to connect those shots. Obviously you have to go for the heads so that you can actually get the advantage out of it. But look at that, another beautiful zone. Once again favoring the northern area where the water body is going to be on the 10% arena, and the rest areas will be actually on the landmass area. Black Dragons, they are just waiting to spot and trying to actually just spot out where the enemy is. He was able to spot him out. Mufasa finally gets popped off with that. The crates are there in the water body, but on the other corner, the other members from Rise Esports are also trying to push in the same water body. The casualties will be rising soon. Let's see where the results are actually going to get dumped in.
Well, let's see what's going to happen in this particular match. Which team is going to be one which is going to, grab the title of winner second, and the Rise Esports way too closer for their, victory in this one as well. And, they have secured quite a few location as well, but even they are, quite far from the circle. Talking about Team Honor Souls, 7 beautiful frags. But there it goes. As I was talking, and as I said 7, and 7 has been knocked off as well. There it goes. Has been eliminated. Only one solo player, if I'm not wrong, from the Team Rise is, starting out of the first team. Black Dragons have been eliminated, as well as hashtag 6 with 3 elimination. Rise fake. What can he do? Can he, get out of the water regions, or else is he going to be eliminated via soul? That's the boy, if I'm not wrong. Yep, exactly, from Team Honor Souls. So particular players from the particular team are still surviving. And just a look at the damage Rafina is providing, but there it goes. A bit of only exposed. Headshot connection, and the player has been knocked off as well. Top 5 teams and 12 players are just the ones remaining in this particular match. We can see one solo player from Team Rise. 3 solo. Okay, well. Just it's a matter of time if one solo player from Team Rise manages to survive for a bit longer duration, then he can easily jump up to postal. And there it goes. From Team Predator is going to be one solo player. From Team GZM is going to be one solo player as well. So it's a 1v1v 3v2 situation. What do you think, Raider? What's going to happen? But there it goes. Team Rise coming into the action once again with 4 elimination points. Okay, I think so. It can be the end over for Team Honor Souls as well, but definitely Team Rise just holding on to the positions right now. Fake doing an awesome job of holding on to the gameplay, just having a right amount of patience, but definitely not for a much longer period of time. He would need to ramp up his location as well, and definitely Team Predator will player 4 is actually at a great location, way far from all the remaining teams and players, but definitely can rise, rise up Can he eliminate Ninho 9999, or else will he get eliminated? That's a thing to be looked upon to.
A tough fight indeed coming up to an end. At this point, if we talk about G's and Esports Pro, G's on the back end team predators where player 4 is actually going to be there. Nino definitely waiting in the water body. Rise Esports fake G is easily going to spot him. If he comes out of the water body, he's going to pop him out. And that could be a credible fight indeed. We are waiting on a 1v1 coming in. Nino finds a gap. Nino finds an opening. And yes, he's going to finish him off. What a beautiful casualty. But with that, he has to actually dunk once again down in the water body because he knows that there is somebody lurking in the shadow who is going to find him out. And if that is actually going to happen, survival for Nino is going to be a little bit more on the passive corner. Mandrake is just waiting. I believe that is Mankuras, which is actually Manukuras, which is all waiting for now. It's a 2v1v1v1v1 type of situation at this point. There are 4 teams, but 5 players surviving. But that shows Sci-Fi Esports definitely have the advantage of having the manpower in their favor. But now the circle is something which is going to retaliate a lot. I expected a lot of teams getting finished at this point in this particular circle, but no, the things are not changing the way that we wanted to see. But now after the first play zone, after the 7th play zone to be precise, gets shifted, things can change rapidly. I'm just counting on it. Look at that. Teams are just trying to find their way inside the circle. It won't be an easy approach, but definitely that's what they have to look onto.
Well, exactly. Last 4 and 5 players, 1v1v2 situation. What do you think, audience? Please make sure to comment and tell like what according to you is going to be the one. Which team is going to be the one that is going to grab the title of whatever this particular match? Match number 3. Path G7 Esports Prog coming over with a beautiful grenade. Will that make an impact? And there it goes, a proper, exact, precise grenade from Prog, and the elimination has been secured. Well. Team All Souls has been eliminated at #4, but a good number of finishes as well. But last 3 teams and 4 players, and well, Predator player 4 right behind the drop. He has even looted on the drop. Definitely has the better advantage compared to the teams and players regarding the gears and all. But there it goes. One more team, and wait, what happened? What was that? Did you notice something different, Raider?
I was trying to figure out, but eventually I was also unable to do it. But yes, the fight, oh man, so amazing to be honest. Expectations were so on point, and eventually the players were also so on point when it comes to the gameplay. But the winner chicken comes in, and finally it's another set of beautiful teams which are trying to bag it out, which are trying to actually get those advantages in their favor. Apart from that, when it comes to the consistency, it is also not going down. The team which was able to secure the winner chicken is going to be the known team which has the manpower, which had the manpower to be precise in the match number 4. It was Sci-Fi Esports, which had the last 2 players surviving in the game. And if we talk about the overall situation, look at that. 16-pointer of a game. #5 is going to be the version where they're going to jump to.
Well, exactly. Talking about team Sci-Fi Esports, the players as well. It's going to be 2 eliminations from Lenin 777. Talking about Banukuras with 3 eliminations. Talking about Loranzan with 0 eliminations, and talking about the obscure 1. It's going to be 1 single elimination. Like total 6 elimination from this particular team, but definitely a great gameplay team. Well, they have managed to grab the title, so definitely that's going to be a good thing for them as well as for the fans. But there it goes. We are back onto the caster desk, and Lawrence is going to be a small request. Like if you haven't liked the stream yet, please make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what have you been doing? Make sure to subscribe. If you haven't joined the Discord server, make sure to hit the join the Discord server. Make sure to follow Ruthless Esports on Instagram as well. But definitely, never forget to cheer up for the team. Make sure to spam out your favorite team's name and keep them motivated throughout the day, throughout the matches that we are witnessing right now. But I think it's the 4th match and last match for a few of the teams.
Let's talk about the teams who are, first of all, the 4 teams which have actually maintained their consistency, which have actually shown their rotations and the usage of nades and stuff like that. So first of all, we have got Honored Souls, 9,568 meters of a rotation, 9 nades, 16 smokes from the corner. Sci-Fi Esports bags out a rotation of 6,660 meters, 3 nades, 21 points of smokes, 21 usage of smokes was actually there. GZM Esports is another beautiful team which was able to rotate for 5,938 meters exactly. 4 nades, 24 smokes were there from the corner. When it comes to Team Predators, we had 10,920 meters of a rotation, 17 nades, 18 smokes. Out of all these 4 teams, GZM Esports is the one team which was able to use a lot of nades. But apart from that, when it comes to the MVP, he's going to be Souls Nino 9999. 3 eliminations, damage of 1101. Throwables used were 8, assists were 6.
Well, exactly. That's going to be the MVP, stats over here for this particular match as well. But moving on to further, we will have we'll look on, onto the other stats as well. We'll onto the other info screens as well. But the elimination and damage chart is right before our eyes is going to be Honored Souls with the highest number of. Okay, wait a minute. Exactly, with the highest number of damage. That is going to be 13 frags and 2,498 damage. Sci-Fi, the team which has secured the winner with 6 eliminations and 752 damage. And third is going to be Team DZ with 9 eliminations, but almost nearly the same damage, with the Honored Soul. That is going to be 2,415. Well, but talking about Team Influence, Team Flamingo with 0 elimination, 0 damage, and talking about Team Alpha 7 with 0 elimination and just 29 damage. Well, that's way too low. Talking about Team Knife and Skull, well, they also, didn't perform quite the gameplay that we were quite performing earlier, but as we can see the match rankings, right? The Honored Souls at the very top position with 17 total points. On second is going to be Sci-Fi Esports with 16. On third is going to be GZM Esports with 14 points. Fifth is going to be Predators with 11. On sixth, EYC Gaming with 7. Rise Esports on hashtag 6 with 7 as well. Storm Gaming, Black Dragons and Black Dragons with 5 points as well. Talking about Zemina Basta, Corinthians with 3 points over their accounts as well. INCO Gaming and Loops as well as Brazilian Killers with 2 points each respectively. But the remaining teams, Knife and Skull, Alpha 7 Esports and Flamingo Esports with 0 points into their account from this particular match.
Not having those points is actually going to impact quite a bit for those teams like Alpha 7 Esports, Flamingo Esports, Knife and Skull and stuff like that. But this is the match ranking which clearly showcased us that these are the few teams which were unable to perform. Match summary, it's actually going to be Honored Souls, Srafina, Honored Souls, Srafina to be precise, which had the highest elimination in his favor. That is going to be 6. But if we talk about the highest damage done and the highest healing done and the highest assist also delivered, that is also going to be in the hands of Honored Souls Nino. If we talk about highest knockouts done, that is coming from GZM's Hugo, which had 5 knockouts to be precise. Moving on to the next statistics, let's talk about the match stats. I believe very soon we'll get to talk about that as well, which will tell us what kind of impact was there. But let's talk about the match stats. 62 total eliminations, 5,558 was our total healing done. 61 knockouts, 229 throwables were used, 2 airdrops were looted, 10 headshots, 17 rescues, and the longest elimination for the day. To be precise, all over in the 4 matches, I believe the record for the day is actually going to be 377 meters, which was coming from the hands of Soul Nino, the guy representing Team Honored Soul. What a match indeed coming up. Let's talk about the overall ranking. Let's talk about the team which is still on top. That is going to be Team Rise Esports with 95 points. Well, that's amazing.
Oh.
Influence Gaming. Well, if I'm not wrong, Rise Esports is all the matches, to be precise, of Rise Esports is over now. Because as I said in the previous caster deck, that every single team is going to get just 4 matches per day. So day number 2's 4 matches is over for Rise Esports. Now this is the opportunity for Influence Gaming to back out the chicken dinner of 26 pointer, crossing Rise Esports, having the 100 point marker. Is it possible for Influence Gaming? That's a big question. XTEAM on the other corner has got 62 points. Team Predators have got 60 points. Sci-Fi Esports 53. EYC Gaming 51 points. Flamingo Esports 49 points. MANDRAKES Esports 46 points. Moving on to the next page, that is going to showcase us 9 to 18, 16th position to be precise. And there we go. Honored Soul, 32 eliminations from the corner, which will actually give them the bump of 44 points in the overall ranking. Corinthians 39 points, GZM Esports 36, Black Dragons 30 points, Zebra Masters with 30 points, Loops Esports with 29, Knife and Skull with 26, INCO Gaming with 26. Well, let's talk about the last page as well.
Exactly, talking about the last pitch is going to be on the hashtag 70 Brazilian Killers with 16 points on 18. It's going to be Stop Giving with 16, Smoky Esports with 14, and Alpha 7 with just 3. Well, all the teams are, ramping up the gameplays, are ramping up, the points, but Alpha 7 Esports just 3. I have no idea what is actually happening, but, definitely I'm feeling quite bad over there for Team Alpha 7, but definitely now is the time to, go on a short break. And, well, audience, will be right back with the 5th match of today, the last match of today, just shortly.
Alright, guys, as the budget said, the final match for the day number 2 of the week number 2 is upon us, and that's going to be match number 5. What is the map? What is the schedule? We'll talk about that as well. But definitely, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Meanwhile, support your favorite team, I believe, and don't hate any other team. I believe the community of Brazilian esports community is very strong, and you guys are not even hating anybody. You are supporting every individual team that you are actually witnessing at this point, and that's absolutely lovely. But apart from that, yes, the competition is for sure going to be there. Although you guys are supporting, but only a single team is going to become the champion of week number 2 out of the 20 teams which is there. Let's talk about the map schedule first of all. And remember, it's Raider and Averted on the desk. Before that, let's talk about the today's matches to be precise. First of all, it was Team Predators which was able to back out the 20-pointer game in the first map of the particular week number 2, day number 2. From Rise Esports' corner, the second match came in the hands, 19-pointer of a game, then 23-pointer of a game coming from Influence Gaming. And after that, it was Sci-Fi Esports, which had the least amount of points as a winner, which is good enough, and that is 16. But match number 10, in the hands of which team, we have to witness. But the map is Miramar for sure.
Well, exactly. It's the map of Golden Sands. It's the last match of today, the map of Miramar. We need to have a look at that, like which team is going to be the one grabbing those, beautiful frag points and elimination points and, the positional points in order to, grab that winner chicken dinner title is, I thought that team Rise Esports would have been able to, complete that the target of 100 points in the last match, but definitely they weren't able to. Definitely, it's a thing to be considering into this match as well. Okay, wait a minute. Team Rise Esports is not there in this particular match, if I'm not wrong, Raider, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's going to be sad news that they won't be able to complete the target of 100 points in day 2, but definitely we'll have a look at other different teams and let's see what they have to offer to us. But the match is about to begin. The plane is about to take off. There it goes. The flight path is going to be about before our eyes very very shortly right now. But it's going to be Raider and Averted from the caster desk for you guys. Make sure to hit that like button, and like if you guys are appreciating the casting, make sure to cheer up us as well and follow us on Instagram as well. But talk with the flight path. The flight path is quite a way to Western region, favoring locations. Well, let's see if the players, like have the drop location set to Elazar, or else Minas Grenals or Impala, Perth Pariso, or even Los Leones. That would be a lot of troublesome situations for them to jump onto and to reach. What do you think, Raider? Where could the first circle be? Like very quickly.
The first circle, it could actually go for Los Angeles in this particular matchup. It could actually go for that particular location. Los Angeles could be the center. That's my prediction. Although the Pubg gods are not favoring us for now, I believe. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the rotations are going to be there. Because for now, seems like that a lot of teams are jumping towards the eastern regions. Like Hassan Patron is going to be in the consideration area. Pecor is going to be there on the consideration area. Even Choma could be considered. Apart from that, reaching out for Los Angeles is going to be a tough task for these teams because they have to glide and then get some good vehicles. Even if the vehicles is there, they have to rotate a little bit further, and then if the zone is actually going to be on the western side, they again have to rotate back. So it could be quite credible, but no, the zone is going to play again the same meta that was there in the second match, I believe, of the day of the map of Miramar. So again, it's looking a little bit like that, where Chumasera is the center. And Valla del Mar is actually going to be one of those secluded compounds where the circle is there, but eventually there is nobody to contest them. But in Picardo, there is another beautiful fight. It's INCO Gaming versus Smoke. Seems like that fight is not going to go down because this is the tussle that we have been seeing from week number 1 between these two giants. And there is already a knockout coming from Smoke players. And it's INCO Gaming, which is actually on the back foot for now.
Well, exactly. Team INCO is almost on the verge of elimination right now. Many players have been already been knocked off. There it goes. 2 players from Team INCO has been eliminated and is going to be bye-bye. Telling bye-bye to the players from Team INCO Gaming. Well, Team Smoky Sports, they are pushing way too hard and aggressively at the very early stage of this particular match right now. I don't think so, yeah. Team INCO has much longer period of duration to start off with to survive at well, trying to go for a bit of fallback, but where are they gonna go? Like it's a dead end almost, and then a bit trying to knock out the player, but I don't think so that's going to be happening either. There it goes. Team INCO Gaming gets completely eliminated from this particular match at the very early stages at hashtag 16 with 0 elimination points. Well, they had a lot of chance, but nope, it's going to be Team Smoke Esports slowly and gradually coming up in the points, overall points table, but definitely with the casualties, yep, they have casualties that the players are knocked off, but definitely they will be revived and being provided with consumables and increase of the health kits, health bars, but definitely Team Inco has been eliminated and none of the teams are currently fighting. So what is going to happen? Like, are the players opting out for passive gameplays, or will they be shifting to aggressive gameplays quite a way too shortly? But Team Sci-Fi Esports prioritizing the loots right now, and the zone has already started shrinking. So what do you think? Like, where the next circle could be? Please make sure to let us know with the predictions as well. Let's see like how good your prediction skills are, and yeah, make sure to keep cheering up for the favorite teams and players as well.
Indeed, guys, go for it. Make sure to actually predict, make sure to actually support your favorite teams, because that is actually going to amplify the meta, and eventually the support system is going to boost the kind of motivation that is required in the game. But Team Smoke Esports, after whipping out Team Inco out of the equation, they're looking quite strong. They have to repatch himself, but there is nobody who is going to contest that kind of situation where they're going to repatch and maybe get the vending machine working out and eventually churning those energy drinks and boosters. There is nobody to stop them. Ricardo is pretty much there in the hands. Nobody to contest him, so that means it's an open party for this particular team. But Brazilian colors, the way they are looting in the Guadalajara region, seems like that there's nobody to contest them as well. So they are easily going to rotate, they're easily going to loot, and they are also in the circle. So that's also a big advantage out of it. If they have the circle advantage, they don't have to be worried about the rotations and stuff like that. So definitely an important aspect of this fight is there with the hands of Brazilian killers. Flamingo Esports, Mandrakes, Honored Souls, these are the few teams which have to easily bag out some good points. If they're unable to do so, it can be quite detrimental. But Smoke Gaming, hashtag 17 was the position they were stuck at, but finally with the 4 finishes, I believe they're easily trying to jump a bit more. But the team that they eliminated was just on top of them with 16th position in their favor, and there is still a buffer of, I believe, if I'm not wrong, 8 points to be honest. So these 8 points are actually going to be quite credible to attain in their favor. It's going to be a difficult fight. 8 or 6 points are actually going to be there. Yes, 8 points of a buffer is definitely going to be there. Corinthians, they are waiting. They are just waiting and trying to hold for now. I believe in the PUBG Mobile scenario of Brazilian esports community, the first few circles are going to be very passive. That's what we have seen from past few days, past few weeks to be precise. The people actually go on a very passive toll, and after that, when the circle gets shifted in the last circle, we saw a lot of bloodshed coming in, and that's actually another set of beauty that we witness in the game.
Well, exactly. But let's see what happens in this particular one. Let's see what a beautiful, gameplays that we're going to witness right now. Okay, about 15 teams and 60 players are still there. The next circle is about to, be jumping on a very, very short team right before our eyes as well. But talking about Team Black Dragons, all the 4 players are surviving, but Starlight again going to be the last one surviving and, grabbing few elimination points for this team. Or this time, the whole team is going to be with talent and like maximizing the points that they can, because this is going to be the last match of today. Yup, audience, everyone heard this right. This is going to be the 10th match of today. The teams definitely need to come up with some great strategies so that it can be a bit of easy task over there for them tomorrow. But talking about the teams and players, okay, well, I guess Killer Zada was trying to do something. He was okay, well, he didn't want that fall damage, so he went for a better safer option. But the teams are currently prioritizing the loots. None of them is focusing on the fights or the rotations. But yeah, Team Loop Esports definitely have completed quite a bit of the loots. Have opted for the Golden Mirado, and they have even already they are onto a drive for the new location, on the hunt of the new location, so that they can hold on to and grab much more loot over there and initiate the fight from there as well. But definitely 2 players in Golden Mirado and the remaining 2 players on the different side. But the team MANDRAKES, they are also way too closer. What do you think? Like, well, the fight is start between Team Loops and Team MANDRAKES. Well, apart from that, keeping that aside, Team Predators has already been spotted. Like, they have spotted, and well, they have already initiated the fight between them and the team players. So definitely something to be considering. Like, which team is going to be one, like like which is going to continue further? Is it going to be Team Sci-Fi Sports or Team Predator?
It is actually going to be a difficult decision at this point for both of those teams to survive and eventually implicate the damage as well. But there we go. Loops Esports, and on the other corner, there is another team which is trying to rotate from the same angle. GZM way too far away at this point, but they are rotating. They are trying to figure out an angle from which they can actually have the circle advantage. But the shots, if I talk about Predators, are not working out. From the back end, it's Sci-Fi Esports. Oh, Loops Esports' players are getting shattered, and same is the thing that is happening with Team MANDRAKES Esports. The one which was actually trying to be aggressive on Team Loops Esports is now also facing the wrath of the other teams. But MANDRAKES Esports, maybe the revival will be there. But let's see what happens for now. And if we talk about the picks, finishes and the takedowns definitely are going to be there. 15 games, 60 plays are what we are actually looking at. The nades are something which is going to be there. Ooh, if we talk about Dark Esports, or should I say MANDRAKES Esports, Nicholas, Jose, these are the two members surviving. There's a push, another push is coming in. Oh, that's a devious shot which will be there. Once again, a knockout is there. That's it. Loops Esports is pretty close to ripping apart all the hopes of Team MANDRAKES Esports. Is it possible? That's a big question for now. Seems like that the fights are changing the pace of the game. But that is the only team which is still surviving at this point. Look at that. It is going to be MANDRAKES Esports' last member standing. He's completely trying to fall back. That's Jose, if I'm not wrong. People are there trying to chase him. People are there trying to actually take him down, although it won't be that easy. Jose is actually on the edges of the zone. Flamengo Esports on the other going to find one from Team X. The knockout is going to be there. Katsu gets finished off. No second chances given by Flamengo Esports.
Well, exactly, no other chance, but there it goes. Another fact that we're going to witness, and it's going to be Storm Gaming. Well, who manages to, knock out a few of the other players as well, but didn't notice that one of the players that is going to be Mangrosa, jumping from inside of the, compound, and well, there it goes. Beautifully eliminating out, the players and the different enemy teams and players, but Team Storm Gaming, yeah, the players are jumping in. Oh, what was this actually? Like, it was a great, landing onto it, but there it goes. Once again, the Pangrosa has been knocked out, but Pedra with an beautiful as well as aggressive, same and the beautiful aggressive, jump in and coming out of the action field, coming out of the, scenarios and eliminating out the enemy team players and making sure that his teammates survive. That's going to be one great entry, villain entry. But talking about Team Sci-Fi Esports on the 4 players surviving like that without revelations going opting for the rotations. The circle is, the circle is actually favoring the southern regions of the map. That is Los Hicos, Velatal Bar, Chumacera, somewhat regions of Picardo as well. Majority of the teams are currently inside the circle, or else they are on the edge of the circle. But few teams which are outside the circle, they need to get inside the, inside as early as possible, or else they are going to face a bit of the zone damage.
Zone damage is something which is easily going to create a lot of ruckus for those of the teams which are pretty much outside the particular play zone. That is why they're just trying to change the pace of the game and trying to figure out those angles from which they can rely and eventually rotate to a fruitful location. Although it won't be that easy, but that's what they have to deal with. They have to survive, they have to pull up the socks and eventually get the points done. But on the back end, Loops Esports, after having 3 amazing finishes, is now finally going to rotate. Dark Jose, that's the guy who wanted to survive. Shots are there, but finally gets finished off with Mythic's blow. And just like that, it's Loops Esports which is going to bag out another beautiful team out of the lobby. MANDRAKES Esports gets taken down at #14. No position points, no finishes whatsoever. A very bad game for MANDRAKES Esports, to be precise, from the start till the end. They were unable to secure even a single point in this particular matchup. So this was not a fruitful match for the guys. And now for Loops Esports, after having this kind of damage in the face, now they have to rotate, now they have to find the angles from which they can survive. Because the thing is, if they're actually going to push into the play zone, there might be some other team which is going to gatekeep them and eventually put them down as well.
Well, talking about Team Predators, Team Predators are currently just, holding on to their locations right now. Talking about Player 5, I guess it was a bit of technical issue from my side, but yeah, for Player 5, just holding on to this, locations. Well, meanwhile, Team Influence, CHEMIN, they are going for good rotations, and well, majority of the teams and players are going for the rotations as well, because the circle, the zone is about to shrink, the next circle is about to be formed right now. Just a look, there are going to be a lot of, rotational clashes and initial, fights that are going to be happening between the teams and players. GZM, Knife and Skull, they are just right next to each other. Talking about Team Predators, they're also there. But look at that circle. Well, the circle is definitely going, going to make a lot of chaotic situations between the players and teams and players. But this is the map of Miramar, and the players are definitely going to be benefiting from the ridges across them. So, well, the players are going to be playing between the ridges, but Chumasera is definitely going to be the one city flooded with enemy teams and players. Like if you are the one to be late, entering into the city, definitely you're going to be the one getting killed way too early. But I think much of the teams and players won't be entering the regions of Chumasera. They will be holding on to the, just over there and definitely jumping out of the game.
I mean, having those specs is absolutely going to be important for these guys. And look at that, they're trying to configure those angles from which they can rotate. Papa Kill is there. We've got Renan, Higor. Katsu was finished off way too early, if I'm not wrong, by the team which is known as Flamingo Esports. But now, the way the rotations are coming in, definitely they have to figure out their takedowns. 13 teams, 50 players, that's what we have in the game. Influence Gaming have the 4-man power. X having 3-man power for now. Influence Gaming, this is the opportunity for them to bag out a beautiful 26 point of winner chicken, and if they are able to do that, if they are actually going to do that, definitely they will be able to have the first position in the leaderboard. Apart from that, they will be able to have the 100-point marker in their favor as well. But Brazilian Colors waiting for now, waiting for the right opportunity to strike on, but there is no other team which is in the crosshairs. Yes, there is team number 20. That's going to be Team Storm, if I'm not wrong, but they are not actually in a fight with them. And now the shots are going in. Now they're trying to trade fire. Now they're actually trying to retaliate with them. Storm Gaming, this is an opportunity where they have to survive, where they have to gain those points. Remember, guys, that is the team which was able to eliminate the first ever team out of this lobby, and that was INCO Gaming. But after that, eventually their performance has been passive. This is the moment where they should actually go for the aggressive approach.
Well, definitely. Let's see what happens. Like whether they like. We'll eventually see like what happens, like what the teams are going out with, like aggressively or like whether they're going passively. But definitely GZM, they are grabbing as many finishes as they can into the pockets of team Loops Esports, and well, one of the players from that team has already been eliminated. They have managed to secure 4 finishes in this particular game. 3 of the players are still remaining. That definitely means this match is turning out to be a great one for them. But just look at that beautiful red skin of the car. Like I actually, I was reminded of a red Mustang. But yeah, X team surviving with 3 of the players. Cardoso has been eliminated. Papa Kill, Renan, as well as Igor. The 3 of the players are surviving, and well, they haven't managed to secure a single finish in this particular match. So that's going to be a bit of downside over there. But Flamingo Esports setting up the crosshairs, trying to eliminate out Team X. But the circle is about to shrink within a fraction of seconds. The circle is already way too smaller compared to the number of teams and players surviving. It's 13 teams and 48 players and a circle. Oh my god, just a look at that circle, reader. A lot of chaotic situations. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a battlefield with a lot of bloodshed.
Oh, indeed. I would totally agree on that particular point, because even though this is a game where the players are joining and playing, it seems like that the play zone is also playing with them. So let's see what kind of implications these guys are actually going to bring to the table, because it's Brazilian players which are about to face off a team known as Storm Gaming. That could be a possible call out coming in, but the number of manpower that Brazilian killers have got is not looking decent, because he's the last one standing who is just surviving for the team. Storm Gaming Salanzin can actually spot him, or he could actually get eliminated, to be precise, at the same exact moment. But there is a spray going in. Oh, he was about to put that bullet. If he did that, he could have actually come up as a casualty. But now the rotations are coming in. They are trying to find that angle from which they can survive and maybe rotate with. Oh, the spottation is there. He's about to get with the crate. Oh, he gets spotted. He is going to get eliminated. No second chances for him. Seems like that, but from the back end, there is a cover. It's another 1v1 coming in. The deepest shot goes in, but fails to connect it. This is the opportunity where Brazilian killers should regroup, should go for the cover, should go for the so not the Brazilian killer, I believe the other team which was actually getting knocked out at the same moment. It was Team Storm Gaming, if I'm not wrong, but shots are there. Influence Gaming won't be able to survive out of it. One guy has been taken down, the other one is already on the bare minimum HP. Healing is actually going to be very important, but the shots, let's see who is going to connect on it.
Well, exactly. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Well, I thought that the revival could have been a easy procedure, but Flamingo Esports, Gigante over here, but has awesome shots, connections, and well, Team Flamingo Esports have managed to secure two of the finishes, two of the eliminations, and well, they are trying to grab as many as they can, but definitely the vehicle is seeing somewhat different. Kawasaki coming a bit closer. Gigante has already spotted off. Team Flamingo Esports knows that there is one player, but Gigante also knows that. Okay, well, there it goes. The Tata Baba. See you. The sea of has been done. But Talent has an eliminator. But the team of Black Dragons have been eliminated and has to call with one single elimination. Team Influence coming down, pressurizing Team Flamingo Esports. Federal coming up with, just multiple different angles. That's gonna be a very, very dangerous gameplay from Federal. Trying to eliminate out the player. There it goes. A good close combat fight. And one more player from Team Flamingo Esports has been eliminated. Well, Federal might be trying to, grab the finish point, but that's going to be a risky situation for him as well. Team Flamingo have lost three of the players. Yep, Gigante is not, okay, well, the revival procedure is on. Gigante will be revived, but what about Team Influence CHEMIN? What is going to be the situation of them? Will be they able to, get into the circle safe and soundly without, being eliminated, or else it's going to be a tough situation, some call, but there it goes. Team Influence CHEMIN, they are pushing like hell out of Team Flamingo Esports. For how much longer durations can he survive? Well, Doiko is still surviving, but it was a bit late. And player 5 has been knocked out right now. Rifle they're also pushing, and they are pushing quite way too harder as well. Dash will be revived right now. Well, the revival procedure is currently ongoing, but there it goes. The zone is about to shrink. The next circle is about to arrive shortly, and still 10 teams and 28 players are surviving. That's a big number compared to the circle. What do you think? Like, which team has a chance of surviving? Because teams Honored Souls, they are on the edge of the circle. Smoke is somewhat closer. Player 3, Team Predator and Team Chaos can engage themselves into fight. The team, Sci-Fi can also be definitely engaged into the fight with the team that GZM. But, well, the team at the bottom, they are at a quite good safer locations.
I would agree on that particular point, but the thing is, survival is something which is not going to be that easy. Circle, the way it is shifting, a lot of teams are actually at an off angle. Be it Knife and Skull or Team Knife and Skull from the other corner also pops out one with the beautiful M24. That is something which is unexpected. But yes, it is actually happening for now. M24 is actually in the play. Sci-Fi Esports is Lennon 777 is going to be there with one finisher. We have got MANDRAKES, which have got two finishes amazingly. GZM Esports Bro 77, which has been taken down, is still surviving. Storm Gaming finally gets eliminated. That is a sad sight to watch out, because Storm Gaming had 9 finishes. They were looking way too confident in terms of their meta, in terms of their game. X Esports on the other corner, Team X, will they be able to survive? Will they be able to move on for another fight? That's a big question. Villains Gaming is also there with the two men that are standing. Kaveski is there, and I believe Federal could be another beautiful guy which is actually going to survive. And exactly that's the status, Federal and Kaveski. Yes, Sindra also gets eliminated outside the particular play zone. He was the guy who was using M24, and now his M24 is not going to help him to the survival. But apart from that, XTEAM trying to rotate GZM's Hugo gets taken down. He's about to get finished off. Lose Esports on the other corner also gets traded off. Sci-Fi has got the opportunity. Now they're going to completely push onto this particular shack where the survival of GZM is actually going to get impacted. But from the back end, it's Team Predators which is trying to put some good shots. Sci-Fi Esports is Andakurus and the other members are also trying to trade him off. But look at that. Two good members out of the equation. ZZM Esports is also unable to survive. Influence Gaming on the other corner is also getting punched down from multiple corners. It's Federal who is going to get one out of Sci-Fi Esports as well.
Well, exactly. Sci-Fi Esports, well, they are, having a quite good chance of grabbing this match into their backpacks right now. But definitely, well, the zone is the savior. The zone is the god over here right now. Whatever the zone decides is going to happen. But XTEAM, what is Renard doing? I've got no clue. Like, he's just, not. That was that a shot? No, that shot wasn't, the shot. The connections didn't actually happen. But there it goes. Sci-Fi is just keeping an eye on the teams. But meanwhile, Smoke bye-bye says bye-bye to player 3. And well, Team Predator has lost one of the more for the player as well. But the circle is about to shrink as well. The next circle is about to arrive shortly. There it goes. The circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's right before our eyes, and it's way too smaller. Definitely, the teams are forced to push so that they can start over there. But Ragnar over here, they're coming up with trying to grab a few kills, but I don't think so. That's going to be any chance of survival. And Team Smoke Esports have been eliminated at #7 with 4 elimination points. Meanwhile, Team Influence CHEMIN. Is this going to be another winner second? And I don't think so. That can be happen because KSK is going to be that solo plus surviving, and well, multiple players are right before him. So yep, let's see how further can he push his team off onto. But definitely Team Sci-Fi, they are pushing Team GZM right before them, and Team XTEAM is just have is they're at a very good position exactly at the center. But there it goes. Smoky Sports have been eliminated. Okay, wait a minute, they have been eliminated quite earlier, but okay, this is not something that we had discussed earlier. Like, if I'm not wrong, I have seen this scenario, somewhat similar scenario earlier as well, like in the last map of Miramar. But there it goes, Team Sci-Fi, that team which had a lot of chances to win this particular match. They are losing out. Two of the players have been knocked out. Two of the players are extremely low on HP as well. Team Honored Souls, well, all the four of the 3 players are surviving, but 8 finishes. That's a massive and good number of finishes at the same point. But let's see what happens. Meanwhile, in Pulskamen, Kowski just holding on at a very good location, but there it goes. X-Team Renan tries to spot, takes the shot, but is unable to eliminate out. But the shots are definitely being connected. Kowski is extremely low on HP right now.
Well, the survival is something which is going to get impacted, but Team Honor Souls, once again, they are getting targeted at this point and they are unable to survive the way they wanted to. Souls, Rafina is actually there on the back foot. Artisan, the revival is actually going to be demanded. Kawasaki, the last man starting of his team, is actually going to go take a 1v1. Sprays are there, definitely on point, but from the right angle he gets spotted, and it's Igor who is going to finish him off with the Thompson. Influence gaming at #5, that means only 3 position points, and with 7 finishes, I believe they have got 10 points altogether. 84 pointer of a game is actually going to be there from the corner. Now the devious shots are something which is working out. Look at that, one more shot, this could impact. Yes, it does. And X-Team is also out of equation. Team Honor Souls looking way too confident. Now they have to rip apart Sci-Fi Esports at the first position, and after that, I believe they have to actually go for GZM Esports. If that happens, thing is done. The finish is actually going to be there. The fight will be definitely there. A Molly indeed coming from the corner. What a pick. Sci-Fi Esports looking way too high on the manpower. But then again, it's Team on its all which is going to survive. GZM Esports on the other corner. Prog is the guy which was surviving. A nade from his corner could impact quite a bit. Oh, the slam. The slam is here. Gets finished off finally. Honor Souls bagging out another set of amazing finishes. And just like that, it's a 22-pointer game, seems like that.
Well, exactly. That's going to be amazing gameplay over by Team Honor Souls as well. And I knew, like, during the very, the starting of the match, like the starting of the first match, I knew that Team Honor Souls can grab, they have a chance to grab at least one single winner in the second. And today's date, and there it goes. It's going to be Team Honor Souls who managed to, grab those brutal finishes into the pockets right now. But talking about, the stats is going to be 12 elimination points and 10 placement points. That's a very good number. Total 22 points from one single match. That's a mega gameplay over here by them. But let's see what's going to be the total overall ranking, like in the total charts for this particular team. But talking about the team stats, Ninho 9999 with 3 eliminations. Talking about Rafina with 4 eliminations. Talking about Sartarzan with 3 eliminations as well. And talking about Boy with 2 eliminations. That accumulates over for total 12 eliminations, and yep, that's going to be the situation. But let's move on to the custard. And well, Reader, this match like started quite, you can say, not that aggressive but not that passive as well, but it was quite way too good. But from the mid phases, the match turned completely differently, and way the teams pushed onto each other, the ending was something like, well, today was something way too different. Like we were expecting quite something different. The teams were performing quite way too different, and the game was shifting way too different, but the circles were almost similar.
Indeed, it was quite on point. But let's talk about the teams to watch. First of all, we will get to see 4 teams. Honor Souls, first of all, is going to be there. Honor Souls have secured 13 nades and 5 smokes usage. And apart from that, their rotation was of 50 to 51 meters. And if we talk about Sci-Fi Esports, well, at that angle, they had 5,600, 74 meters of a rotation, 6 nades from the corner, 17 smokes also coming in. If we talk about GZM Esports, that's another beautiful team which was able to secure a bid. 10,437 meters of a rotation from their corner, 5 nades and 15 smokes were also there from Influence Gaming. 13,415 meters of a rotation was there, out of which they were able to secure 4 nades and 9 smokes usage. So this is the kind of 4 teams which we were able to watch out for. When it comes to the MVP, it is going to be from Team Storm Gaming. That is going to be Pereira. 6 eliminations whatsoever, 700 of a damage, no throwables, but 1 assist for the team as well.
Exactly, that's going to be a good as well, like 700 damage, 6 eliminations. Just that too, like, without any utilities, completely with the gunpowder, that's definitely a lot of good things to have a look at. But talking about the match ranking, that's going to be on over 22 total points. Sci-Fi Esports at second with 11 points. GZM Esports with 11 points as well. Influence CHEMIN with 10. Storm Gaming with 9. XTEAM with 9 as well. Smoky Esports, my bad, at 6. As hashtag 7 with 6 points, Loop Esports with 5 points, Flamingo with 3, Team Predator with 3 as well, Corinthians with 1 as well, Black Dragons with 1 individual point, and the remaining INCO Gaming, MANDRAKES, Brazilian Killers, and Life and Soul with 0 points respectively.
Indeed, the number of point system was absolutely amazing. And now moving up ahead, let's talk about more details. For example, the match summary is also going to come us, and yes, there we go, the match summary is here. It is actually going to be the guy known as Storms Pereira, which was able to have the 3 flags in his name. For example, the highest elimination, the highest damage, and the highest knockouts as well in his hand was there. The highest assist was in the hands of Team Honor Souls Rafina. The highest healing done was from GZM's Pubg. That's the kind of situation that we are going to witness. Let's talk about the match stats for now, which can tell us that what happened in the match altogether. 59 total eliminations were there. Total healings were 7,226. 58 knockouts were there, 145 throwables were used, 3 airdrops were looted, 7 headshots were appointed, 13 total rescues were there, and the longest elimination in this particular match was from Sci-Fi Esports' Manukurus, which had the elimination of 347 meters in the game. That's interesting, that's huge to be honest. But now let's talk about the overall standing, which will showcase us that after the 4-5 matches that we witnessed today, what kind of impact is going to be there in the leaderboard as a whole.
Well, exactly. Let's have a look at that point part. Definitely talking about the MVP rankings. Well, the majority of the teams and players, it's going to be quite good. Talking about the first Dunes, 3,712 damage. That's a massive, damage. Talking about the Federal, well, 3,274. The damage that these 2 players have, taken out. Talking about. Okay, well, this is after post-match 10, right? Exactly, that's what I was wondering about. But talking about Nino with 3,249 damage, and Rafina with 3,254 damage as well. And talking about, the players, 3,155. But there it goes after the hashtag 5. Jumping out of hashtag 6, the range jump is, degrades down below 3,000. So it's going to be Kursk with 2,151 damage points total. Talking about Red W, it's okay. Well, Red W also has 3,000, so I guess he should be up, but the survival time and the points were much higher of them. So yep, that's going to be the situation and scenarios. But talking about overall fraggers after post match 10, it's going to be Papa Kill with 22 finishes. That's a massive number of finishes. Well, I didn't actually expect Papa Kill to be on the top, but there it goes. Well, the unexpected happens, and it becomes quite the expectations. Talking about Rise Dunes with 20 eliminations, Petrol with 17 eliminations, and Rafina with 17 eliminations as well, and Keversky with 15 elimination. That's a massive amount of dominated performance over here by the players. But overall ranking, Rise Esports with 95 points and First Command with 84. On third is going to be XTEAM with 71 points. On hashtag 4 is going to be Honor Soul with 66. Sci-Fi Esports with 64. Team Predators with 63. Flamingo Esports with 52. And our hashtag it is going to be EYC Gaming with 51 points.
Moving on to the next page, that is going to showcase us from hashtag 9 to hashtag 16. We have got GZM Esports starting it off with 47 points, MANDRAKES Esports 46 points, Corinthians stuck at the 11th position with 40 points. At 12th position, we have got Loops Esports with 34 points. At 13th position, Black Dragons is there sitting with 31 points. Cybermaster have got 30 points, which is actually going to post them at 14th position. 15th position, Knife and Skull with 26 points. 16th position, INCO Gaming with 26 points. Let's talk about the last page of the leaderboard, and that is going to showcase us the leaderboard where the teams are not at all comfortable. For example, Storm Gaming 25 points, Smoky Esports 20, Brazilian Girls 16. But after playing 4 matches, Alpha 7 Esports have secured only 3 points, I believe.
Well, exactly. Alpha 7 Esports have managed to secure just three finishes. That's way too less compared to the what we were expecting. I was thinking that they could have managed to secure more finishes only if they had a proper goal strategy. But I have no idea like what is happening with the team. Like they already had a good amount of chances to prove themselves. They have played all the games. It's not like that they haven't played or some of the team players are missing. But well, I have no idea what is going to happen. So I'm not in a position to comment on that point, but let's hope that on the day 3 they ramp up the gameplay. They definitely come up with something beautiful. But well, it's almost time to say goodbye to the audience, and well, the day 2 has been ended quite a bit of beautiful, and Rise is put at the top. Later, before leaving, in a few words.
Just that, guys. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Make sure to actually follow the Instagram handle of esports.ruthless. That means the official angle or official handle, whatever you want to call it out, of esports. Ruthless Esports to be precise. Make sure to actually go for it. The Instagram handle is esports.ruthless. For now, we are going to take a short leave. We'll be back tomorrow. At the same time, if there is going to be any changes, you will get to know on the channel and the esports handle that is actually going to be on Instagram. So until then, guys, peace out. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow.